Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to Little Squid League 43. Now is the time for the league to take action. I am Pat here with Kigs. Kigs, how you
Yo,
doing?
I'm
Are you
doing
ready to
good.
watch? Yep. Yeah.
I'm ready. Oh, sorry.
No
I
problem.
I'm ready to see these two teams in action. Moonslice, I
Mhm.
haven't really seen much action of, so I'm assuming they're a relatively new team. And FUIT GUMMY, I'm actually kind of interested to see as well because they're well, I think they're like estimated Div 17.
Mhm.
So I'm actually kind of interested to see where this match will go.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a pretty nice team. I think I've seen Food Gummies before, so probably last LSL where I guess they did okay. So I can't wait to see more of them, see what they're able to do. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll start seeing how it goes on the Splatsville on Umami Runes, which is honestly a pretty even zone game that allows you to do lots of different things. I can't wait to see how these teams are able to play on it.
Yeah, because you got the two zones around mid and first flat zone Umami, and
Hmm.
it's kind of like that situation where you kind of have to like keep the opponent locked out, otherwise you just kind of like landslide back into trying to get back in.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. If you are able to really hold the other team away, to hold your ground pretty well, you can win on on this map pretty handily. It's all a matter of are you able to push on whatever the opponent is giving to you. If you're able to do that, this map can give you pretty interesting team fights around the middle of the map because of that big block at the middle of the map that really changes the dynamic, and the fact that you have two very small but very distinct zones around that block that make it you can have long team fights with both zones being taken by different teams, and these fights are often the ones that decide how the game is going to go, assuming both teams are able to really push onto the lock by the other team.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't have much to say about Flat Zone Umami. It's just really tough trying to get those two zones because you got one team going on the other zone and one team
Mhm.
going on to the other zone, and it's kind of like you just have to like figure out where you want. It's more of a tactical map, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess what you mean, and it's going to depend a lot on what weapons are brought. So that being said, now Kicks, we need to make a bet. We need to decide. this is the first game of the tournament for both of these teams, which means they probably forgot how private battles work. How many Splatfesties do you think we're about to see between the two teams?
Honestly, I'm honestly on the side of Fukumi here.
Mm-hmm.
Although I haven't seen these two teams in action yet, and I haven't watched that last episode, which I probably should. Uh, I just feel like overall, like statistically, Fugami has the better opportunity here.
Oh, okay. That's a bet. I I can't wait to see. Honestly, like yeah, I checked and Food Gummy they got 17th in the last LSL, so they dropped just shy of top 16, but they managed to make it that far, which is pretty pretty close. And I see two Splatfest TV being bet in the chat. I think three. I think three will be the number.
3, yeah. But we can't really be too sure of that though yet because we also got Moonslice, which we haven't really seen much of. So so it could be like one of those like situations where it's like
Mhm.
you got a new team, you think it's gonna go smooth sailing because they really don't communicate well together, and then they just landslide when
Yeah.
they get a knockout within like the first 2 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah, and one thing to note as well is it's a different dynamic because Moonslice is a European team, whereas Fudgumi is from NA, which means like for one team it is the morning, it's lunchtime. For the other team, it is more into getting into the evening. So depending, like Moonslice could have had the time to practice a little bit to get in the mood. Food Gummy, maybe they're just waking up. We'll see how they're able to do. Moonslight is 2 years old. Well, we need to pay more attention to Germany, I guess. And let's
Yeah.
get right in the game. And yeah, on the side of Food Gummy, we see a pencil. Both teams bringing a pencil. Lots of
Ooh,
mid
we're
range
seeing
on the side of
rapid.
Moonslight.
Yeah, rapid throw is kind of you don't see that really too often.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of interested to see what Moonslice's play is here.
Hmm.
And yeah, looks like Moonslice is gonna get to his zone, but Fukami, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, no,
it,
really even match in the middle. Oh, a wipeout on the
yeah,
side of Moonslice. Oh
it's
God.
It's going to be pretty rough for Moonslice having all these mid-lines weapons if Fudgumi is able to break the distance, and especially the fact that they have the range blaster, which is a great counter to most mid-line. It's going to be pretty rough. Now, that being said, Moonslice has the opportunity to push back in. They need to wait for the special to assemble. Here comes Bazooka, but Bazooka is alone. Wanini is going to get
Another
pulled.
wipeout.
Yeah, Food
Oh,
Gummy opening pretty strong.
yeah, this is not looking good for Moonslice.
Yeah, Moonslice need to be fair. They have one final push to go. Time to do it. They have a Zipcaster ready. The
Oh yeah,
Zipcaster just in
here
time.
goes. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be game one going to Fruit Gummy.
Yeah, Food Gummy simply winning every fight. They won every fight, and every fight that they won, they moved forward, got more ground, got more control. Really, that's how you want to play the game. Win the fight, go forward, repeat. And very, very nice opening game on the side of Fulgumi.
Yeah, that's for sure. But on the side of Moonslice, we really didn't see much special communication there because the Fruit Gummy was just pressuring them so much
Hmm.
that they really didn't have a chance to like regroup and get all their specials up, and that's really crucial if you want to push back in, if
Yeah,
you want to get a strong push back in.
yeah.
Because
I feel like Moonslice, because they play so much range weapons, like mid range, they're used to be able to engage into the fight without being in that much danger. But FUIT GUMMY, they had the range blaster, they had the pencil, they had the options to to fight Moonslice and punish Moonslice for committing to the fights despite not having the specials ready. And so Moonslice was not expecting to die so fast, I think. And if they play a bit more prudent and if they wait a bit more before trying another push, they should do better.
And we will be seeing that the next map here is a tower control hagglefish,
Hmm.
which honestly is not a bad tower control map in my opinion. I have a really strong bias towards hagglefish just because of how the modes play, besides it clamlets, because I'm not a really huge clamlets fan.
Hmm. Hey, Hagglefish is very much a classic, whatever the map mode, I feel like. And that's a map that you're going to see in so many tournaments, and so many players want to bring it again. We'll see how these teams are able to do. Remember, it is a play all free, so Moonslice, they have 2 more games to get back in there. FUIT GUMMY have opened pretty strong. Now it's on Moonslice to do a bit more. And they bring a splatter shot to get a bit more short range, a bit faster. And I think that kind of extra speed will benefit them if they're able to stay in flight.
Yeah, no, for Gummy is relatively the same call. We do see CRB getting, wait no, Range Blaster getting a pick out of the order shot, I think it was. And
Yep.
the Gummy is taking towers. Yeah, no, the Gummy is really strong when it comes to those picks. And
Yeah.
especially, we do see the Range Blaster getting Splatana Stamper trying to flank them.
Yeah, FUIT GUMMY, they're able to win the fights as they are moving forward, as they are getting into Moonslice territory, onto Moonslice, and they still win these fights. And when you do that, you simply move forward with the tower. Here comes the triple link strike that are going to allow the rest of the team from coming back in there, and FUIT GUMMY still has the numbers advantage right there. They're still getting more and more. Very nice jump to reposition by Lily there. And yeah, FUIT GUMMY, like, the tower is going to move back, but FUIT GUMMY is still very much forward, very much maintaining the fight and locking Moonslice into that storm.
And that'll be 2 down on the side of Moonslice. Moonslice really needs to get some of his own here because really they're just feeding. I have no clue what they're doing. They're okay. We're not seeing much grouping up when they battle. Unfortunately, Cooler died in tower.
Yep, and right now, Moonslice, they're fighting and they're getting a lot of trades, but they're either getting trades or getting picked, and that's not enough. But FUIT GUMMY finally, the onslaught is pushed away as Moonslice is able to claw the tower back into it, claw themselves back in. The Zipcaster is going to be punished, unfortunately. FUIT GUMMY on top of everything, and like, the tower is back in mid, and FUIT GUMMY is already has full control of mid and is ready to get another push.
And here comes out the Cooler on the side of FUIT GUMMY. 2 down! Oh no, who would have... Okay, well, Sniper made the safe decision to jump back to base, but unfortunately that Cooler isn't going to be going anywhere. 2 down on the side of Moonslice. Oh no, 3 down!
A lot of players down. It's just the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco that has to jump out for Moonslice. Very nice jump. Moonslice, I mean, they got a few points. They didn't manage to get to the checkpoint though, and that could cost them in the rest of the game. But they still have 2 minutes in this game, and at least now they're able to fight. They're able to push onto FUIT GUMMY and get some momentum. Now it's about keeping that momentum going, getting more of it. And look at that, they get
I feel like in this, I feel like Moonslice is having a bit of a stronger pushback in. Because... sorry. Yeah, I just feel like they're coordinating a bit more. Unfortunately, Rapid Blaster dying to Range Blaster.
Yeah, I
But
think Moonslice is oh, 2 down. 3
oh, 3 down.
down. 3
Uh-oh.
down. Moonslice is finding the groove right now and getting more and more fights. Some players are falling down, but if they're able to get that pick on the range blaster, they should have a good push on to the checkpoint right there. This is very, very nice for Moonslice. All they need to do is seal the deal, but all of Gummy is back in the defense right now, ready to push things away. 1 minute left, Moonslice. They need another try.
Yeah. I feel like Moonslice can win this game. They just need to stay strong on the offense because I feel like it's just every time they go on offense, it's just like they can't really maintain it because Fukami always has a really strong pushback here.
Yeah, Gummy really powerful with that pencil, getting an extra splat. That's going to be pretty rough. 30 seconds left, and Moonslice cannot take a position into mid right now. They need to get in. The Stamper is going in there, trying to get the splats, and with 2 splats onto Gummy, Moonslice will get a final push. They have a final shot at the tower. They're pretty low on paint, but they can get in there, and they're already getting the opening, activating the specials. They need every shot to hit right now if they want to take that checkpoint. Ooh, very nice.
Oh, and we're going to overtime. All Fukami has to do is take the tower, and they seal the deal for the set.
The strike's coming on the tower. Another strike. The checkpoint is broken.
3 down.
Wipeout. The wipeout to seal the deal by Gummy, getting the 2-0. They win the set. Moonslice doing a bit better and learning, getting better and better throughout the game, but a bit too late.
I feel like it's better than getting knocked out because if you're able to score points and still lose, that still counts towards something.
Yeah. I mean, you come to LSL to have some experience to fight teams that are close to your level, but potentially better. Moonslice, at the start of game 1, Gummy was simply faster than them, was completely outpacing them. And Moonslice, as they were respawning, they were taking positions that they thought they were safe in, except Gummy was faster than they expected, so they were punished for that. Now Moonslice, they have picked up the pace. They are on the same pace as Fugani. They're able to win the fight. They're able to take the ground. They're able to defend. It's a matter of now like putting it into action since the start of the game. Moonslice, if they repeat what they were doing at the end of that game, they can win on Rainmaker there.
Yeah, Rainmaker Roman is interesting because you got like all these like flanking options. It's one of the bigger maps in my opinion because you gotta like expect flanks from like anywhere, anytime. It's like you gotta stay on your toes. Like you can't let your guard
Yeah.
down no matter what.
Yeah, you have lots of ways in, and that's what makes Rainmaker funny to me. Is like you always have to look to your left, to your right before you can move forward because there's always a flank coming to ruin your day, to stop your push. That being said, it's also a map where if you get one good like dive, just like 5 seconds of rest, you can get to a checkpoint incredibly fast. And from these checkpoints, you can get a lot and a lot of points. It's very fast. You can get a flank, stop the Rainmaker in its track, but if you don't, Rainmaker can score incredibly fast, so many points, and more than the first 2 games. This is going to be decided by a single push.
Yeah. And like Rainmaker is definitely one of the more faster ranked modes because well, it could be faster or it could be slower. Much like Clam Blitz, like you could be in like a stalemate for like a while, and then suddenly someone gets a push that could decide the entire game. But then you could just have like one of those matches that just instantly end.
Yeah, here we go. No change in composition on the side of Gummy. Moonslice, though, they're ditching the pencil for a heavy edit, and they bring a carbon roller to go even faster. Moonslice, they've been going faster and faster throughout this set, and now this is the team that's able to get the first picks and get forward. They're the ones moving in and getting so
down.
much. What an opening by Moonslice! This is the fast-paced Moonslice that's able to win, kids.
We see Pencil on the side of FUIT GUMMY getting 2. And that might be the end. Yeah, that is the end of Moonslice's push, but it was a really strong push to open up the game.
Yeah, getting that break onto the checkpoint in the opening is pretty nice. Now, though, Moonslice, they don't have a backline anymore, and defending is going to be pretty rough. That Rainmaker outranges everything except for the Bazooka. Bazooka got 3 splats right there. What a stop onto the push by Moonslice, and Moonslice is back in control.
Yeah, I never expected that the Bazooka would come out and just say, nope, you're not pushing up anymore.
And then there's still 2 down. Ooh, 35 by Moonslice there. I mean, FUIT GUMMY is the one team that is getting staggered right there. It's their turn to really panic a little bit because Moonslice has stepped up the speed and is now the faster team. As I say that, Lily getting in, getting a double with a single slosh and really forcing Moonslice to get back.
So I just realized, does Moonslice have double Zuka?
Yep.
Oh, so they do.
Yep, Moonslice, they broke the carbon and the shot have Zuka, and the carbon getting punished for it, but that's still a push for Moonslice now. FUIT GUMMY needs to defend. The crab tank is going to slow things down. Both teams are going to regroup because of that. I feel like, ooh, well, the crab tank is over now. Here comes the Zipcaster, and nobody is able to slap the Zipcaster this time. So much going on. Rainmaker is going to reset, and both teams are waiting for the push from Moonslice.
Yeah, no. I feel like this is one of Moonslice's stronger games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because... Oh, okay. Can't even finish my sentence before a good play happens.
Yeah, they get more and more. They don't stop. They're now at 29, and FUIT GUMMY with 2 minutes left. They have yet to break the checkpoint. They're not used to be on that side. Wait, we're nearly behind them with the shot, almost denying it. Getting a Bob. That Bob got just...
No one's watching out for the order shot.
You have to pay attention on all sides right now, but FUIT GUMMY is going to get the reset onto the Rainmaker. As I say that, they lose 2 players. Moonslice gets the repop, and they're going to get another push. Just getting an extra splat right there. Moonslice simply not stopping. That is their mode. That is their map. They are on fire right now.
Yeah, it's like one of those modes where you're like stronger than the other. I feel like Moonslice doesn't really do well in zones. But in Rainmaker, they can actually get something going. And that's what we're seeing here right now.
Yeah, 2 down on each side. 3 down.
3 down.
Getting in and getting the spot. Lily has been saving the game so many times on this map mode. The bucket is so important on Robo Roman, and right now FUIT GUMMY wants to show how they got the game. No, 1 and 2 right now. They get the repop and they have control over the checkpoint. It's just a matter of connecting the Rainmaker to there. Moonslice defending as much as they can, and with 30 seconds left, FUIT GUMMY are getting close to it, but they lost 2 players in the process.
FUIT GUMMY is just... they really need to get something going here if they want to get 3 on the set. Okay, and we see heavy NL on the side of Moonslice, but that's not going to stop the Rainmaker from getting the checkpoint. And I feel like this is going to be Moonslice's game.
Yeah, with just a few more seconds in the game, the Rainmaker is going to be grabbed just in time. Moonslice get the game, and I mean a well-deserved game number 3 for Moonslice, stepping up, learning what FUIT GUMMY is doing, and really adapting their game, getting faster and faster, and getting game number 3. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to both teams. That was a really good match to watch.
Mhm. A great match indeed. But we have more awesome games to watch, kids. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with round number 2.
Yeah, and see you guys then.
And welcome back to Little Squid League 43. I am Pat here with Keegs, and we are now ready to watch round number 2. It's going to be Arrows of Gale going against the Husky Splatsville Knights. Cookies. These are cool team names, first of all, especially Husky Splatsville Knights. I like that
Oh
name.
yeah,
It's
no,
well done.
yeah, no, definitely. Especially their logo is really cool as well. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how these two teams will play out. Arrows of Gale, I know a little bit about, but
Mhm.
Husky Spotsville Knights, I'm kind of interested to see in action, which we're getting right into it.
Yep, it is time, and on this side, the Arrows of Gale are getting in. The Knights are bringing a roller and a machine on this map. It's going to be pretty good because there are so many different ledges. Having 2 ledge option is going to be pretty useful. On the other side, I love to see the Dreadringer, that Dreadringer. I've tried a bit during the Splatfest because it was the Wars and I wanted to try new weapons. That weapon is powerful.
Oh yeah, no, Dreadringer is really good, especially on Splat Zone. It's really strong weapon. But we do see Husky Splatsville pushing up here, getting 74 points. But unfortunately dying to the Rainmaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is not over right now. Very nice defense by the Arrows as they are re-grabbing the Rainmaker and it's their turn to move forward. They're also trying to go on the left side. There isn't much to stop them, especially thanks to the Splatfall, but the Rainmaker has still splatted on it to wipe out the Knights. Get the wipe out, and now they have a Tacticular Adver ready. That's going to be a good push for them. Very much back and forth so far.
Yeah, we are going to see the Booyah pop out here. And okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay. With the Bubbler and the Booyah Bomb, that's going to be a checkpoint for the Knights right there.
3 down on the side of Arrows of Gale.
But the Wiper able to win that fight. Winning that fight here means Arrows of Gale get the Rainmaker back, get some control, are able to regroup. There's still more than 3 minutes into the game. They have more than enough time to get that checkpoint, to get back in there. But now they need to regroup and they need to make this push work. The whole middle of the map is blue right now. They can't get in there so fast. The Knights are very much controlling the middle right there.
Yeah, this is a really strong game from both sides of the team. Really evenly matched, and we will see Snipe Rider getting the Rainmaker. I'm not sure if that was on purpose. Okay.
Yep, and right now it's the Husky Knights are still getting into the fight. They're not keeping the Rainmaker, but with Nexus on top of the bunker right there, maintaining some aggro. These Reef Sliders have been coming in and getting so much power for Gale right there. And now the Arrows are shooting at the checkpoint. They're getting in. They're almost there, but they get splatted with 2 down. The Knights are keeping that checkpoint again.
It's really unfortunate when you die when you get to the checkpoint. It's like you're almost there, but it's... Yeah, no, it's just really unfortunate.
And the Knights right now are doing whatever they can, dodging a special, but it's just Nexus with a machine right there. Nexus has to jump out, and the Arrows of Gale, all they need to do is climb that checkpoint. This is huge. If they get the repop, they get the lead right here. This could decide the game. Crashmat maintaining the pressure, trying to stop things. Repop has happened, but the Knights able to grab the Rainmaker, push things away. They keep that lead, and right now Spade is happy to simply hold the thing away for the rest of the team. That's a 1-point lead, kids.
This game has me on the edge of my seat now. Arrows of Gale so close. They finally got the checkpoint, but they just couldn't push up because Husky still Husky has been really strong on defense, but Arrows of Gale has been really good with trying to push up. As we see 52 getting the kill on Nexus. And they're gonna push up here. All they need to do is just push up, and we see Arrows of Gale get the lead.
Huge lead by the Arrows of Gale. There's only 40 seconds left in the game. And now it's on the Knights to find the Rainmaker to get the lead back. They need another big push, but with 3 down onto the Arrows, the Knights should have another push, should have another opportunity. They need to make the best of it because, I mean, there's only time for 1 push now.
Yeah, and we see the Booyah coming out, and unfortunately not getting anything, but they do push back Arrows of Gale in the process, but unfortunately they're 2 down. Oh my god, what is going on?
On the splats! They didn't see the player behind right there. That's the end of game number 1. Arrows of Gale getting a huge comeback and sealing the deal beautifully. What a game! We're going to see more between these 2 teams. This is going to be close.
Oh yeah. Really strong offense and defense from both teams. Arrows of Gale, they're it's just that they're so interesting to watch. Like you got like all these like different comps coming out from both sides, and you got 2 evenly matched teams going up against each other to create a really good match to watch.
Yeah, it's always nice to see teams that are that close, that have similar identities, that want to do about the same thing. Really decide down to the last few pushes who is going to get the edge. The Knights were able to get so much control at the start of the game, were able to really paint the hole up mid, get the pushes going. But the Arrows of Gale, the moment they had really bad control of the mid, the moment they had bad momentum, they went in again and again and again. And in the end, it's that one mistake on the side of the Knight that allowed the Arrows of Gale to get that checkpoint, and then another mistake that allowed them to get another push onto the side to get these 5 points. And yeah, well played by the Arrows of Gale, but the Husky Splatsville Knights, they're not done. And now going into tower control on Macomart, it is going to be a different game. We'll see how these teams adapt. I hope to see the buckets coming back, because this is another map where having a ledge options is very, very important, useful.
Yeah, especially trying to control those stacks. It's really important, especially when it comes to tower control Mako, because if you got like a bucket on your stack, then you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah.
Or even worse, like a backman, like a snipe rider or a heavy edit. It's really hard to push back in when they have control of your stack.
Oh yeah, and both of these teams have the tools to set themselves up on the stack and to deny the stacks. Look out for that Octobrush. That Octobrush is going to be very dangerous. As I say that, on the other side, there's still a roller, and rollers in here, they can shark anywhere. They can simply throw a curling, go anywhere on the map, and be under that stack to ruin your day. Both of these teams will have the tools to deny the stacks, and that's what we love to see right there. Let's see how the first fight goes. It looks like Arrows of Gale. Oh, we're losing a few players. You have to move back. That's going to be a first push by the Knights.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Yes, and look at that roller under the ledge right there, really denying completely anybody on that ledge. The first checkpoint was pretty much a formality for the Knights, but now they lose 3 players. It's their turn to move back, and well, getting the splats there. That is very, very nice for the Arrows of Gale. They get their turn onto the checkpoints, and if they're able to do the same, we could have again a very even game.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Okay, it looks like Arrows of Gale is gonna push up here. We see the Kraken ready on CRB here, getting a pick off of one of the members of Husky. And they will move past checkpoint 1, which it's only going to get more difficult to progress from here because checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 3 are hardest. And we see that as Arrows of Gale goes 3 down.
They go 3 down and it's a delayed wipe right now. Arrows of Gale, they got the lead. That's a very nice lead to get, but there's still a lot of games to go, kids. It is not over, and now it's on the Knight to push again. Both of these teams have shown how well they can do when they have their momentum, when they have their position, and right now the Knights have the position, they have the specials ready. The Booyah Bomb is not coming yet. They're still waiting, and they're using their position well right there. But ooh, they lose 3 players. 3 players down.
That was a good trade by the Brush on the side of Arrows.
Yeah, that being said, the Knights, they got the lead again. The lead has been swapping. Every push has been a lead swap. We love to see it, but now it's on the Arrows of Gale to get their push and hopefully get their swap. They activate the tactical. They're already under that ledge trying to get a lot going and the start. You need to keep someone on tower, but ooh,
oh no!
Down. This could be the end of that push.
I thought the last game had me on the edge of my seat. This one is even more, has me even more on the edge of my seat. As we see the strikes pop out, but unfortunately dying to Whale. 52 on the side of Arrows of Gale. They've been really strong. They've been getting those picks. They've been pushing up. They've been pushing up whenever they need to push up. They just do whatever the time calls for.
Yep, right now, the Knights, I think they extended their lead by 1 single point. That's all they did in that defense. They're keeping the tower on the same side of the map, and with 1 extra splat and 2 splats onto the Arrows of Gale, it looks like the Knights are holding control over the map right now, getting more. But the Brush surviving, getting the splats. Arrows of Gale are still in this game, and with 3 down, they get another push.
Here comes the Zipcaster on the side of Octobrush, but unfortunately he dies to the bomb. I hate it when you die to bombs. Like, it's just like you have like a play you want to do, but it just doesn't really plan out well because
yeah, there's always one of these pesky bombs, and now with 1 minute left, the Knights are still pushing. They still have the lead, and they're getting more and more splats. 3 down onto Gale. This could be a checkpoint for the Knights. All they need is their specials to get through, and with the strikes and the Booyah Bomb, that's exactly what they get. They're at the final checkpoint. They activate the cooler, and they're looking to get the second game right there. 30 seconds left, and the Arrows of Gale are struggling to deny the tower. We're looking at a KO. We get it. The Knights get the 1-1. We are going to game number 3.
Yeah, no, strong plays by both teams.
Yeah.
Because we had the stalemate at checkpoint 2 for a while. The Husky Splatsville, they just been able to show us that they can play well against Arrows of Gale if they do have the momentum. Arrows of Gale isn't they're really doing good as well, as we saw from Rainmaker Manta. They're able to really get they're able to like flip around the momentum really quickly. So it just creates really a better game.
And you said the exact words that describes this set, Gigs. It's momentum. Whichever team is able to hold the paint onto the map, that team is going to win the next fight. That team is going to get the next push and is going to get the special, is going to get more. Momentum has been everything in this set. This is why we are 1-1, because whichever team is able to seize the moment, to use whatever time that they have, will get forward, will get more. And now we are going onto a map where momentum is also incredibly important. It is Barnacle on Dime on splat zones. On this map, if you have control, if you have the paint around, you can keep the zone. We could see a very very fast KO despite these two teams being so close.
Yeah, very lockout heavy map indeed. Barnacle and Dying Splat Zones is just kind of like you just gotta like have strong return if you do end up getting locked out. Like,
Hmm.
but if if so, if the other team does have a lot of pick weapons like we do see with the 52 last game,
Yeah.
that could mean trouble for the other team who's getting locked out.
Mm.
Yeah, really excited to see how game 3 is going to play out. 1-1, a game 3 scenario, winner takes all.
Hmm.
Really excited. Both two evenly matched teams.
Yeah, this game could decide a lot between these two teams. I mean, we're in Group D, where like the winner of this that could decide in. I mean, that's going to decide in what bracket will you go. That is so important right there. We'll see who's able to do. And one thing to note, Kigs, is a big difference between this map and the first two that we saw in this set is that it is much more flat. The roller and the slushers will not do as much. So we'll see how these two teams are able to adapt to a flatter ground. And the Arrows of Gale, they have the pencil right there. That is going to be key for them to really hold control. As I say that right now, both teams are fighting pretty strong. And with two down onto the Arrows of Gale, it looks like the Knights are getting the better opening again.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't really see what's going on right now, but
You can see on the map, but yeah, wait, can you close the map, please? Jump, show us the game!
Okay, there we go. We will see Arrows of Gale getting the lead here, as Arrows of Gale are trying to lock out Huskyville right now. I don't know if it's a Huskyville, but they will try to flip the zone as Arrows of Gale is now 3 down.
Yeah, the Knights are now in position and are holding pretty strong right there, looking to simply get that control. And, oh yeah, they're the ones with the pencil. They're the ones getting full of that. But the Zcaster coming in, not getting punished by the roller here is so important. That's going to allow the arrows to get in, and that's exactly what they do. That Octobrush has completely decided that push, getting a triple right there and getting the control for the Arrows of Gale. The Knights have the lead, but it's not that big of a lead. As long as the Arrows of Gale are able to hold their ground, they could very much get back.
Yeah, and we will see here that like I said before, on Barnacle and Dime you need like a really strong return if you end up getting locked out. And that's what we're seeing here with Huskyville as they recap zone. And Arrows of Gale getting the lead, but not by much. Yeah, like I keep saying multiple times, two evenly matched teams. Edge of my seat.
Yep, and it's not over. We're only halfway through the game and halfway through the points. The Knights are getting done with their penalty and they're still holding pretty strong with 2 downs. They could hold even strong. The strikes are not enough to capture the zone right there. And the Arrows of Gale, they only have 1 push left to get onto the map, and that's exactly what they do. They're getting down. That's going to be a pain. The Arrows of Gale are staying alive. They need to come back though.
Yeah, no, zone can go by really quick. Even if the other team has a really big penalty, that can just go away when you're just getting locked out so much. But you do see Huskyville planning a really good return back into the zone, and we will see them almost flipping zone. Oh, 2 down on the side of Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, that's what we love to see. Both of these teams are so good at simply getting a push, getting in and forcing their way in. There's lots of players down, 2 down onto the Arrows of Gale. The Knights are holding strong and they don't have that much penalty left, kids. We could see the end of that game right now. The strikes are coming in. It needs to pay off for the Arrows. They need to get that push working. The Booyah Bomb is slowing them down. They only have 10 ticks to get in. That's not much
They
time. They need to get in here. They need
oh
to paint. Oh, they're almost and they get
oh
it.
yes! That
One.
that that was an insane flip.
Oh yeah. One
Oh
more minute of game. It is not over, but Fade gets punished. It looks like the arrows of Gale are holding the zone quite strong. They have no penalty left. Now it's just a matter of holding. The Knights don't have that much time to get back in as well. The arrows, all they need to do is use these strikes wisely so that they can stop the next push. And it looks like they don't even need to. There's two down. Onto the Knights, the strikes are coming, and the arrows of Gale are able to deny the push
oh
right there.
yes!
Beautiful moves!
Oh,
Oh!
beautiful of a game by Arrows of Gale. Huskyville, the Husky Splatsville, they really did have some strong games, as we saw
Mhm,
from Tower Mako. But yeah, it's two evenly matched teams. What can you really do if they end up getting the last minute flip?
mhm. Yeah, beautiful comeback by the arrows of Gale. What a set, Kicks. Love to see it. Congratulations to both of these teams for showing us such a great games. And yeah, it's time for us to take another break and watch the hopefully as good round number 3.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys there.
And welcome back. It is now time for the final round of this group stage here on Little Squid League 43. I am Pat, still with Cookies. Keegs. We've
Yo,
seen awesome games. We've seen awesome games. Are you ready for 3 more cool games to watch?
yeah, that's for sure. Like the two of the games that we watched, they've really been tight.
Hmm.
I'm always on the edge of my seat, and I can't wait to see what these two teams bring out in store for us today.
Yep. On the one side, we have Without Identity, a team that we hope finds their identity someday. On the other side, a team that's eating my veggies. Apparently, I don't want my veggies to be eaten. I want to eat them myself.
I was gonna eat those.
Yeah, that's mean.
Yeah, give me back my carrots.
Okay, I'm getting notified by the captain for Without an Identity just bet against their own team. Is this match
What?
fixing? Like, if they lose, they will get accused of match fixing, and we'll see how that scandal goes. We know how precious channel points are, so there will be sanctions if Without Identity loses.
Mm. And let's go into the first match here, which is
Yep.
Clamblitz Scorch.
Hmm.
Honestly, it's not that bad of a Clamblitz map because well, you got multiple spots that you can get the power clams from. You got multiple clam spots, and not really much I had to say about Clamblitz since I don't really like it that much.
Well, I love it, and I'm glad. This is the first Clan Blitz game we see today, and it's such a cool mode. That's the mode that allows you, especially at this level, that allows you to show that your team has the better coordination. If your team is well coordinated, if you really have a plan for how to get the clams to the basket, you can really get the better games against a team that has better mechanics than you, and really this is the mode that shows the coordination in your team, and I really love to see what teams are able to do, especially on Scorch Gorge, which is a very nice Clan Blitz map, I feel.
Yeah. Well, Clamblitz is also one of those games where you could be like sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to wait for another team to like score a power clam. Or it could be like one of those matches where it just like Rainmaker, it just ends instantly.
Yeah, yeah. If you're able to get a whole hold over the open end basket, if you're able to put yourself onto their snipe with a crab tank or a pencil, you can hold the map so well, and you can keep the basket open for incredibly long. We'll see how these teams are able to do, how these teams are able to collect the clams. I believe contractually we're obligated to say the clam economy is important. We'll see how these teams do.
Yay. Okay. We are gonna see an Octo Shot and V Dooley is coming out. V Dooley is coming out on both sides to
Ooh.
be exact. We do see 96 Deco coming out. The first time I've
Mhm.
seen that in a while.
Yeah, we see lots of cool weapons coming. That Wellstring, I haven't seen much Wellstring being played in competitive, but it's such a pleasure to see these new weapons find some hands that like them. Can't wait to see it in work right there. But yeah, the double Julies on both sides, and ooh, well, here's a punish onto your Julies right there. Looks like eating your veggies is
Ooh.
winning the first fight. They're getting a lot of clams as well. They're already getting in, and here comes the Julies. Oh, getting punished right
No.
there. That is sad, but hey, with that identity are going to keep control over the basket, and they're the ones with the super clam right now.
Yeah, but Soccer also has Super Clan here as well.
Mhm.
As we're not really gonna see much action from eating your veggies here. But
Yeah.
they do get a power clam
Mhm.
and trying to push up as fast as they can. Without identity is 2 down. This is the perfect time for
Yep.
eating your veggies to push in, as we do see that going in, and they will score the power clam.
Yep, they're able to get the power climb. They're able to get a lot, but they get wiped before they can get more. 71 is okay as a first push, but without identity, they already have a super climb ready. They are ready for the counter push. They're going across the grades. They're already.
They
They
missed.
missed! They missed the basket! Oh no, they're gonna lose their clam there! Oblivion trying to
Oh,
get under there to save the ball, but that's the end of that push right there. Missing the basket has to hurt. But it looks like oh wait,
oh
they get
wait.
three.
Oh no, there's three
They win the
down.
fight now. They still have control over the basket, and now they get the
We're
big
gonna
clam
see
jumping in.
Moonslice jump in here.
And
Missing the basket again. No.
Ah!
Oh.
There will be talks. After this game, there will be talks. We need to practice hitting the basket with the super clam. It's not the same distance as the regular clam. You need to practice it right there without identity. They would have lost the lead with these two super clams. They would have been enough for the Veggies to get to lose the lead right there. But three down, the Veggies have to move back. And without identity are going to get another push.
Yeah, and we see that as they push in here. Slosher's trying to find a good way to get back control of mid here, which I honestly like. It's like that desperation of like you really need that mid control to like flip back because you got a power clamp, and you just need that mid control in order to score more points, which is what is the unique ways of clamblets being played.
Yep,
But
right
we will
now,
see without identity, surviving the triple splashdown and getting the basket.
They get wiped. They get wiped in the process, but they managed to open the basket. They got it this time. We got progress on the side of without identity. We got some progress, but eating your veggies are already under the basket, and they don't miss two super clams in, and lots more splats right there. Eating your veggies are eating the clams as well. 30 points remaining, and they have a few more clams that finally, without identity, are able to get in. The Kraken is getting in there, pushing people away. That's a little bit of breathing room for the identity. Now they need a big push, and they need every clam to get in the basket.
Yeah, they need a push, and they need it now. They got 40 seconds left, and they don't really. They have really good plays. I know it, but it's just a matter of getting in.
Yeah, it's pretty rough for them. The Veggies are losing their shot right there without identity, are getting some opportunities to get some control. They have to wait for the crab tank, but after that crab tank, they should be able to find a push in as long as that crab tank doesn't do too much. It looks like it's fine, but we lost a player. 10 seconds left. They're going to need another time push, and they lost two players. Eating your veggies in control now, trying to push in, flanking to the side, and the overtime is going to be pretty rough. Here comes the Booyah Bomb. It's not going to work. Whew.
Yeah, halfway through the overtime, without identity, is really gonna get something going. But they're two down. Eating your veggies have been staying strong this entire time. Oh my god.
I mean, even with these two super clams in the basket, without identity, didn't have the points that eating your veggies managed to get. Eating your veggies got better pushes, got more pushes, and got the bigger push. Really controlling that clam blitz game, but without identity, they had good plays. It's just whenever they were getting near the basket, they were breaking under the pressure.
Yeah.
But it's not over. It is best of 3. We have more games coming in. And without identity, they've shown that they have the fights. They're able to go forward. It's just a matter. And this time they don't have pesky clams that don't work their way. We are going in Rainmaker or Museum. A bit more straightforward. We'll see how they're able to do that.
Also, I don't know if this is just me, but I always end up confusing museum and Inkblot to be like switched places. So I
Mm-hmm.
imagine museum to be like Inkblot Academy when it's
Hey,
actually the opposite.
they're both about art. They're both about art. So
I know, I know. That's what confuses me.
I confused the two for a long while as well. But the thing that helped me is that I come from Splatoon 2 where there was only Inkblot. But still, I still confuse the two every once in a while. So I get you.
At least I know I'm not alone on this.
Oh no, you're very much not alone. Going on to museum, this is the spinner map, and with the way the spinners have changed, like a few months ago, a bit more than 3 months ago, if I remember well. Now you can simply jump onto the Rainmaker checkpoint extremely fast and get so fast with the checkpoint, which can snowball very strongly for one team or the other. Again, we've seen both teams being able to push, being able to win the fights. It's just now that neither team has to count the clams constantly, it will change the way they play, and we'll see what team is able to really get the best of the fights.
Yeah. Oh my god, there we go.
Hmm.
I keep thinking of like the Rainmaker Delfoncino plays, and I just thought back to the Inkblot.
Well, you're done confusing me. Now you see the map. You better not
Yeah, no,
confuse them anymore.
I won't be confused anymore.
Oh,
Oh my god.
good. Without identity, bringing back the 96 and the weld string on the other side, we see a bow as well. But that's a different bow. That's the old bow, the OG
Yeah,
twice finger.
yeah, I haven't seen really much Order Bow.
Mhm.
So really interested to see how eating your veggies. I wonder to see how they'll play out here. But there's
Ooh.
three down! Both sides are three down! Who they
Oh, and
who, what? Oh,
I need
oh,
a 1v1. The without identity, still grabbing the Rainmaker, getting in there and getting the checkpoint. That was a great move right there. Without identity, getting that early checkpoint is huge.
yeah. But unfortunately, we will be seeing the Rainmaker reset here. But it's not going to be a problem for Without Identity getting to the top straight away. But the three down on the side of Without Identity.
Yeah, all eating your veggies need to do is get that repop right now. They're still struggling a little bit to get it. They gave the time to Without Identity to respawn. Without Identity 4, they lost two players again. Eating your veggies are the ones down. Like, we see fights left and right from both teams. It's not stopping. What control by the Wellstream, not able to grab the Rainmaker before the reset, but Without Identity are controlling the base of the game so far, making sure that they stay on the map and they keep their advantage.
Yeah. Oh, here comes out the triple splash, but unfortunately not going to get anyone, unfortunately. But they... Ooh, three down on the side of Without Identity. And there's that wipeout, and eating your veggies will be able to get checked, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, eating your veggies a bit slow to get to the checkpoint, but able to get there and maintaining the stagger in the meantime. They get another wipeout. That's going to be a lead, and now they get in. That is good. Huge points for the veggies right there. They get in. They're already at 31. The Rainmaker is stopped on 2 down. Splashdown is going to extend things, though. We could see more points, Gigs.
Yeah, no, that splashdown was really good because it stopped. Well, I guess it stopped Julius from getting the call, but we will see Rainmaker reset here, and this will give time for Without Identity to recover from the major damage that Eating Your Veggies put on.
Yeah, incredible points that made by Eating Your Veggies. Now it's on Without Identity to really get back in there, win this fight. win the game right there. They're already activating their way in, but they get countered pretty hard. They need to move back because they lost 2 players. Eating your veggies, keeping the momentum on, are still getting in there, but ooh, the fights into mid this time are turning blue without identity, are going to get another push as long as they're able to keep the Rainmaker standing. That Nautilus is on the chase right there.
Yeah, and they will be successful with that goose chase right there. Yeah, ooh, nice. Okay, yeah, no, unfortunately they will be forced to retreat now that without identity is 2 down.
Yeah. Yeah, the Veggies are hunting right there. They know that they have the upper hand. So, ooh, they try to get the Splat. Oblivion with Bazooka is going to find one and keep the fight active for without identity. But they have 2 down, kids. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah, no, that was a really good Bazooka from the side from Oblivion there. But we do see Trap Bomb. Oh, the triple splash popping out of nowhere!
Ah, the delay wipe again.
Yeah, no, this will give the advantage. Eating your veggies need to push out. No, unfortunately.
They push before and they're able to get it. They get the KO while wiped out. That's a thing that happened.
Oh no. Oh, without identity. Oh, okay. So, backtrack. So, both sides went 3 down.
Yeah.
And I don't know who it was. Without identity, got the checkpoints. And then I just don't know what happened from there.
Eating your veggies, the second they were able to get the checkpoint themselves, they were pressing on that momentum, getting more and more and more. And I feel like without identity, when they didn't have the lead, they were struggling to get forward. They were a bit too eager to get into the fight, and they were not finding each other as a team. They were not regrouping to prepare for that big push. They were constantly struggling left and right. And eating your veggies were very happy to keep the fight active all around. And in the end, they were the ones getting the upper hand of these scrambled fights. Eating your veggies, get the 3-0, the 2-0, but it's not a 3-0 yet. We get a third game without identity has the opportunity to show how good they are. And honestly, they were not that far behind in that game. They were able to get so much. It's just a matter of sealing the deal. We'll see if they're able to do that on Splat Zones.
I hope without identity avenges my carrots.
Better. They better.
Okay. But we will be moving on to Splat Zone Ship Shape, which it's a pretty interesting zones map in my opinion. You really don't see much of that, or yeah, don't really see much of that in when I play a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, and that's another wide map. I hope we see these bows coming back. I know, like these bows, they can paint. They have a good range on ship shape. They could do on the both side could do incredibly well, especially in the ends of these players. Both of these players are able to play a mighty good bow. So I love to see these bows in action.
Yeah. Well, also with the charges as well, that's like another map that Ship Shade's also good for. One thing I'm really interested to see here is if one of the teams might pull out Clash Blaster, because the Clash Blaster, I do not have a fun time with it on Ship Shape. But I don't like going up against it.
Well, we'll see if that happens. That would be... I'd be surprised to see a Clash Blaster, but I've seen weirder things, I guess.
Yeah.
And, doesn't look like it on one side, and for
yeah, no,
like that, you know? We
no
see
blasters
Tetris
on either side.
Hey, for zones you want to paint, and blasters can be pretty weak on the painting side.
Yeah, that's for sure. But without identity, is you're gonna get the zone first here. But unfortunately, he gets flipped by eating your veggies, who will take that early lead. Oh, here comes the zone cheese.
Yep, that's the cap of the zone for Without Identity, but they lose to 3 players now.
No!
A rough one. Eating your veggies
Oh,
are eating still more and more. And I just realized that we have a well string on both teams right there. That's a more pro action for you. And that crab tank, so powerful, really forcing Without Identity to wait. Now here comes Without Identity trying to push in, and they're able to get 2 splats. They should be able to get onto the zone right there, especially now that they have the Reef Slider. They should be able to get that cheese. They don't even need it.
okay, yeah, here comes out the Reef Slider.
And that Reef Slider got a splat and is allowing Without Identity to keep themselves on the map, to keep the push active. Now it's a matter of setting themselves in place and forcing your Veggies away.
Oh.
Very nice splat by the Dualies here.
Yeah. I just realized that that identity also has double Zuka because of the V-Squeezer and V-Shot. But unfortunately that Zuka's not gonna get any picks. But it will be a good attempt, but unfortunately die.
Yep, and with 2 players down, Eating Your Veggies are able to maintain Without Identity enough trouble, but now it's hitting. Oh, both teams have 2 down. It's going to be a rough one. Can Eating Your Veggies keep the zone just a tiny bit longer? We still see more Splatsville trying to get in with that squeeze of Zuka's about to be ready with 2 down. Without Identity has the opportunity to get onto the zone. They need to get it, and they're able to save it.
And now May eating your veggies down too. And as we see the Reslider pop out, oh no, okay.
Reef Slider not able to find much, but Without Identity has penalty applied. They're scoring onto the zone right now. Here comes the strikes though. The strikes are creating so much chaos. It's just Oblivion. Oblivion has to jump away. Eating Your Veggie is in control again. But Without Identity has the opportunity to prepare the push. They have their Zuka pretty close to ready now.
Yeah. We see 2 specials pop out here on the side of Without Identity. 2 down. But yeah, Without Identity has to cap zone here because Eating Your Veggies is almost out of penalty. And they're out of penalty, and they're 2 down. No one is on the zone. There's the wipeout, and unfortunately, Eating Your Veggies will take the last set.
Yep, Eating Your Veggies really sealing the deal and taking more and more control throughout this set. They started strong, and Without Identity were able to bring the fight to them, but not able to bring it enough. Eating Your Veggies really winning that game with a 3-0 sweep.
That's the first sweep we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I'm surprised it's a sweep though, because I feel like those are like 2 evenly matched teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Without Identity was able to bring the fight to Eating Your Veggie. Were able to do a lot, but not able to do enough. That's going to be the end of group stage right there. Eating Your Veggies with that win managed to make it to gold bracket. The stream will be right back after a short break to show you Diamond bracket, the best bracket that we have here at Little Squid League. But it will be
Yeah.
with different casters. Kiggs, it's time for us to say goodbye. And before we go, where can I find you on the internet if you want to plug yourself?
Well, you can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/cookies. I mainly like to do a lot of bad ideas and I play a lot of edited Splatoon because that's what I normally like to do. But you can also find me on YouTube where I normally like create like a bunch of clips and long form content. I just yeah, it's something that I really like. But moving on from me, Pat, where can the people find you?
Well, you'll be able to find me on Little Squid League later tonight. I will be commentating the final games of this tournament. So stay tuned to this tournament if you want to see more of me. But First, you will see other awesome commentators. Do not go anywhere. Bye bye.
Bye.
Welcome back everybody to Squid League, Little Squid League 43. I am Marshy, and currently we have a stand-in with my good friend Jub.
Yes, I'm Job. We are working on getting Cater back here in the commentator booth, but for now, we're getting right into tower control on Mako Mark with the Night Logic versus Lethal Slide.
What are your predictions for this game today?
Oh, that's a very good question. You know what? I've seen the Logic around a lot. So just on name recognition alone, I'm gonna give them the favor.
As we can see here, both teams are trying to take mid right now and getting that tower and getting them points right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Night Logic is coming on strong for this opening. They're already down to 60 points remaining, and it looks like Lethal Slide is trying to fight their way back into not even mid, just trying to, put up a defense.
Get themselves, get the Night Logic away from their snipes right now and trying to get the push in to get that tower stopped, but as we can currently see, that is not working out in their favor right now.
Yeah, well, it looks like they were able to stop it for a bit there, and we've got a highly contentious tower right now. Nobody's on it, but it looks like there's some skirmishing going on.
As we can see here, the Night Logic really does have that chokehold on Lethal Slide right now, but they are slowly getting picked off one by one, but as we can see, each side are still losing their members as we speak.
Yeah, they just got to that second checkpoint just for a second. Wasn't able to push it any further, but now it looks like they might finally get some control in mid here, Lethal Slide. Can you tell I haven't done this before?
Nobody had touched tower, so it was currently going back to neutral. But that probably was a bad idea coming from Lethal Slide right there. But even so, they are still slowly inching that tower back to neutral and across the line.
Yeah, and they got 3 of them down on Night Logic just a second ago, so this is a great opportunity for them to really open up this game here. Ink Strike's coming out.
I'm currently just observing the gameplay and seeing what's going on right now. We had quite a few specials coming out from Night Logic just now. Not really getting too many picks off of Lethal Slide right now, but they are still quite neutral in mid there, not really pushing in. What do you take of this?
I am hoping Cater gets back soon is what I think. But it's nice. I mean, they got to that first checkpoint. They almost broke through it. So, starting to get some points on the board. Love to see it.
Two people have just went down from Lethal Slide right now. Night Logic is still keeping that hold in mid right now. Really stopping Lethal Slide from getting the push that they need right now. A minute and a half almost on the clock now, so they don't have too long to get that push in that they need.
Yeah, we saw a lot of specials coming out from both sides, but nothing much to show for it, it seems. I saw the vacuum, I saw everything coming. Now the hammer. Oh, finally we get a splat. Oh, hammer versus hammer, who will win? Oh, wipeout!
Yo, what's up? I'm back from the dead.
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't know if we never had an introduction. Hi, I'm Cater. I'm joined today by the lovely Marshy. Thank you so much for for filling me in and also being our wonderful streamer. We are watching something on Mako Mart that's tower control. I really hope so. I just got back from equipping 3 pures of run speed up and sprinting all the way back to my dorm to get my board meeting mic. How's the game looking, Marshy?
The game's been alright, but both teams have been holding the tower in neutral for quite a while now. The Night Logic being able to get quite a decent push in at the start of the game, but Lethal Slide is still struggling to get tower past checkpoint 1 and really close towards the enemy side right now.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I mean, only 38 seconds left in the match. They do have a push going right now, are taking that timer down, get that pick on the head, which is really big, especially for the late game here, but lose their own. 2 down on the side of Night Logic, enabling members to decide to continue pushing picking up that back is going to be huge, so enabling another member to come in, get that kick. That's 2 down on the slide, even with the trick strike out here, only 20 seconds left. Not sure if they're going to be able to keep this momentum up. We have them, Lethal Slide, doing their best to stay on that tower, but I think Nightlog is going to get enough cleanup picks that the push is going to stall out and end there.
As we see, the duration of the game is just playing itself out right now. Lethal Slide not being able to get that tower going as the game now concludes. Game 1 going to the Night Logic.
Yeah, absolutely. Though Lethal Slide kind of was building up to something in the end, I think getting just a little bit staggered off that tower, they're not having the full team power behind them led to them not being able to carry that push all the way to where they needed it to.
Absolutely. And it is safe to say Makomot is one of those maps I would say that is quite difficult to get that meaningful push in because of how easy it is to be flanked or getting pushed off the tower there from the enemy team respawning from snipe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mako, a map that we all know and love, but especially when you get into that later stages of the tower, that spawn is really, really close to the tower. And you also have those ledges surrounding it, like you could see the back got popped, and that basically gave the cover for another member. I think it might have been the Wiper to come in and get some picks on tower. Just knowing that position, knowing how to get back into the game when you're on your back foot, very important here for Mako Tower.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And coming from personal experience, it is really, really not easy to push into that map, especially if the enemy team has the map in their favor.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're gonna look at our second map here of our best of 3 set, Clan Blitz on Crab Leg Capital. There's lots of C's in this title here. Any opinions on this one?
I would say Crab Leg is a pretty solid map. But as for the Clan Blitz layout, I'm not too familiar with it. But from experience of playing it in Little Squid League last tournament, it was quite a strong map for players if they knew really how to play around the grates that are in mid and also the multiple different routes that you can take to get those power clams into the basket.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple extra blocks being and ramps being added on this map, so those slight changes from other modes, like you said, having those alternative routes to throw power clams in, knowing exactly what blocks, what jumps that you can make can be the difference in making or breaking a game as these teams really start readying up. We're only 1 game in, but of course we are in a best of 3 currently, so these sets are could possibly go a lot faster than either of these teams want. Just coming off of Riptide, where literally everything was best of 5 from pools all the way through bracket. It's almost a little bit unfamiliar to see best of 3s now, but I definitely see the value in them, especially keeping the tournament going.
Yeah, best of 3s are typically a lot shorter than a traditional best of 5 in a tournament, but it also makes all the games very meaningful because you have both teams playing to win. Because it's not like playoff 3, you lose if you lose that set and you get basically lose that set. If you lose it, you can't continue. The 2 points goes to that team, for example.
Yeah, and you can have a lot of those tense 2v1s or game 3s that you see. It takes like much faster to get to a match point, therefore the tension's higher, especially since, like you said, we are in Top Cut.
Top Cut is a very, very mixed bag of players, and you also come across the odd team that would be classed as a dark horse and sometimes can come out on top out of all the teams that were either seeded the best or just mechanically were a lot better in the group stages.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are going to load into our game here. Take a look at the comps that we got. Ooh, that Hydra coming
out.
Yeah, both have picked that. That's a real interesting pick here. Of course, you have that space control that is definitely going to be led to it. And we'll see how, of course, on the side of Nightlog, they have that Jet Sculpture, they also have that Edit, so they are not lacking in range at all either, but we know that Hydra definitely packs a punch, so we'll see its position and how it's going to control the space here on Crab.
I would say personally, coming from personal experience, positioning with Hydra on this map, the grates are very good to be on. especially if you're working on getting a push, because it also enables you getting control of that right side of the map towards basket, especially if you're trying to get your teammates in to get the basket popped.
Yeah, and speaking of push, we have a wipeout on the side of the Night Logic here. Lethal Slide gonna take this and get in as many clamps as possible. You saw, even though we had the vac again out from Night Logic, Lethal Slide said, we are not falling for that again. We're going to rush that down. They're throwing in those little camps 2 down, but they already got that down to 44, and it looks like we are going to be seeing a jump out. So 2 down, but they still have those 2 members alive, so they're not completely giving up their map control. Super, super solid push, especially this early on in the game.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm actually quite familiar with the Hydra players' gameplay. I've played with them in the past, actually. So it's quite exciting to see them playing Hydra here today, actually. Quite nice seeing weapons that are classed as off-meta make it into top put of tournaments, because it really shows even if the weapon is considered bad in a competitive sense, you can still make it work.
Truly, I sure love Hydra and I love Splatlinks. Night Logic gonna take this opportunity to bring out another push here. We did see a quick 3 down for a second there on the side of Lethal Slide, but I don't think we have enough follow-up. You can see they're gathering clamps in the back, but I think they know they're not going to get to the basket in time. I mean, only 2 minutes into the game, and we've already had substantial pushes coming out from both sides. Night Logic also are making another power clamp very quickly. It looks like, especially with the 2 specials that they have on live right now, they could be gearing up to another push. We'll see where this
as we can see,
Hammer!
Right now.
Yeah, the Hammer does get canceled, but we do have that back coming out again. Just really nicely. I mean, you can see they're going to eat that Booyah Bomb and just take those back shots in. Unfortunately, Power Clamp 3 does go down here. With the Whale coming out and this assist from the Hydra here. I don't know if that push is going to have enough momentum to keep going.
I'm very curious to see how they take the space that they've gotten right now and see if they can make a push out of it.
Yeah, super nice pick from the Hydra here. This is exactly what you're talking about, being on those crates, controlling so much of that space. They just have to watch out for firing from down below, but you can see they're being super conscious of that, hiding in that wall when they need to. And of course, they have the range advantage on that heaven as well. With the Vector, they are going to have that nice place right here. We'll see how this Booyah pans out for them, especially compared to the back coming out from Night Logic. With 2 down on the side of Lethal Slide, Night Logic is going to use this opportunity to push in, though they're not quite in a position to throw that power clamp in yet. We'll see where this takes them.
I'm hoping out of this situation that the push is able to be shut down so they can not get those points in, and Lethal Slide really denies them all of the push right now. As we can see, they're slowly inching up in mid right now, trying to get picks, working on getting specials, and of course keeping that control of the map right there so they can eventually get power clams in when they so fit.
Yeah, super solid defense from Lethal Slide. You see those missiles come out, those displacement freezes up here to get that nice hammer cancel, unfortunately getting taken out. But yeah, that's gotta feel incredible, especially, I mean, you could basically see they predicted that with the vertical flick. That has got to be super satisfying.
They were ready for that.
Yeah, they absolutely were. Night Logic is a little bit on the back foot here. People are coming out from Lethal Slide. They're gonna have an advantage as we move into the last minute of this match. 1 down on both sides. That's a nice pick on the grades with the Splatlick there. That gonna come out again, preventing Lethal Slide from rushing forward. People are coming out. Both almost feels like a death match right now with how these teams are trying to force each other outside of the objective. That is 3 down on the side of Lethal Slide, but Night Logic doesn't have.
I'm curious what this Splatana is up to right now.
Oh man, yeah, that's a fair. I wanted to see that Saber go places. For unfortunate, you know they wanted to get some sort of jump in.
You know that they wanted to get in there with Hammer, get some picks, but unfortunately that push was predicted and shut down very swiftly.
Yeah, there is still hope for Night Logic heading into the last 20 seconds of this game. Stamper's gonna come out again, looking for that pick. Does get taken out though, so it's only the Jet and the Heavy left. They're gonna pop coolers, so they have those buffs. But it's gonna be harder against these rush-on weapons. Back and get popped as well. They still have this chance to take it into overtime. Their teammates coming back very nicely placed. Awesome back shot there, gets a pick, but the power clip, the Hydra on the defense there. We are in overtime. That was 3 down on the side of Night Logic. We still have the Viper there, so there is still hope that that clam is about to despawn. They're gonna come, they're gonna get it. But with the stamp is gonna go in, gets 1 pick, looking for a second, gets the 2nd pick, but they die themselves. Wipe out. No, I mean, hello, they gotta pick up that clamp, they have to take it, but they miss the shot into the basket. Time is ticking out.
Oh no, they missed the clam.
Oh,
Oh
that
no!
hurts.
They
Oh
narrowly missed that
no.
basket to take lead. They had it right there, and they
Oh.
sadly messed that up. That was very intense, I do have to say. I was really hoping that they could get that push in last second there, but unfortunately, as we can see, average Splatoon gameplay right here, seeing the power climb, missing that basket.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just how the silly Squid game is, but man, if you're Night Logic, that has gotta hurt. I mean, but can we talk about that Splatana, the wipers positioning and stance for a second? Because like, I know you pointed it out. I got a little distracted, but like when they were all the way on that back block over there, they wanted a little flank. Unfortunately, they did get called out, but that could have been awesome. And then popping that stamp at the end and getting one pick, and then going for and getting that second as well, leaving the opening for their teammates to come back in. Super super clutch overtime play, and it really sucks that it came down to a misclam. Oh man, nail biting set game. These teams so evenly matched in that second, which means, like we said, pressure's on. We are going to go to that third game of our best of 3 splat zones on Umami Runes. Zones classic. I don't think we'll see the Hydra come out here again necessarily. That might have just been a crab-like pick, or it might not have. I am never averse to seeing more Splatlings. I'm a big Splatling enjoyer. I'm very vocal about that.
From what I could tell from game one, there's a potential that they could bring out heavy edit in this game, but depending on how their comp gets formed, they could bring that Hydra back out again. But even so, on a map like this with how closed in it is, I would say Hydra is just a little bit too slow to keep up with modern day meta at the moment.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, a lot of us. I mean, you see this in pretty much all levels of Splatoon gameplay, that the pace of this game, I feel, with the meta is just getting faster and faster. I mean, you have tacticoolers at the beginning of every game. You have Head It, which is kind of just a faster heavy. I mean, I know there's more nuance to it, but like really on paper, it kind of boils down to being that. You have all of these super fast, aggressive comps, and so Hydra, although that, and and Pencil too, is very much the backline of choice for a lot of teams. So, although Hydra really does pack a punch, sometimes its slower positioning can leave it a little bit weaker to these.
I would say that edit is one of the best weapons for cleaning up situations, or in general just getting picks when they're trying to farm that cooler. Purely because of its attack speed. It has in recent patches been nerfed the slightest bit, but to be honest, for people who play the weapon quite regularly, it's not too bad of an issue. Like, it is still able to take care of what it needs to do. And I think that's what the beauty is with such a strong tactical weapon, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. Like, I mean, like you said, having that cooler already a plus to a super strong weapon, range, power. Little tiny nerf's not going to stop that at all. I mean, yeah, I don't think we're not going to see the wipers come out, especially with how strong those stamp plays were and how stamp can be, if it's not canceled, one of those specials that you throw out to paint back over the zone, kind of like Tri Strike, kind of like Booyah Bomb. All of these kind of almost free take back specials, they all have their weakness. Some of them can be painted over, some of them can be rushed down, but it really helps to have at least one of those specials on your team in a pinch if you need to take it back and just apply that penalty.
True, true. Oh, Lord. But as we can see, game one and game two went to either side, so we are getting ready to go into the third game to see who takes match point.
Oh, totally. These best of 3 sets, go by so much faster than you think they will. And both of these teams definitely have to be feeling the heat. Lethal Slide having a lot of momentum coming off that last game and really locking down on that defense. But of course, Night Logic, on the other hand, still having, they know they have the capability to pull off pushes like that they can get themselves together and really go for it, especially in overtime. The splat zones, of course, not always seeing that overtime, more often just seeing lots of backs and forths and small point. How do I put this? Small differences in points between teams, very close games, until it's.
Oh yeah, when it's backwards and forwards very often. Yeah, I get what you mean.
E-Jet coming out and the Gale as well. And we have
Oh,
so, yeah,
no splatlings this game.
yeah, so we have switch ups from both sides. On the side of the Night Logic, they're gonna bring out that C-Jet now, so we have the Mist on the Storm, the Junior, the 52, and then we actually have, I believe that's 96 to go coming from Lethal Slide. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
they have the Splash, they got the Try new bow, and then they have that T-Tech as well. So yeah, no Splatlings, that C-Jet, the longest range weapon here on the field. Of course, that Try also start having a field day here with this, all these ledges on mid, either being below, on top of them. They are really going to enjoy that, and they're going to paint a lot for that cooler as well. First pick going to Lethal Slide there for a bit, because Night Logic already using their specials to push back in that Storm, putting down a lot of necessary hate. But the Strikes are going to come right back and take a lot of area, and then they have that crack, and you can see all the way up there, looking for picks. Well, we have the Stamper coming in from behind it, getting one pick, looking for the second around the corner here, gonna find it as well. They take it out themselves, but that is a super nice double, gonna lend control to Night Logic.
Super strong weapons on the court today. Seeing very different variations of comps, which is quite interesting. We don't see 96 Gale coming out very often nowadays in tournaments, actually, especially the Kraken variants. So it's nice to see it again.
Yeah, super cool. That whale gonna come out from Night Logic. You have the cooler from Lethal Slide. Night Logic still solidly having the zone under control. You can see all of this orange on the map, making it really, really difficult for the members of Lethal Slide to come in, trying to drop down, find some purchase here, but getting taken out by that 52 Gale. Another member goes down. That's 2 down on the side of Lethal Slide. This Stamper gonna come out, look for a pick on that Tri-Slosher, causing some havoc in the zone. That Tri-Slasher does get taken out. We are at now 27 remaining. The members of Lethal Slide being a little bit staggered now, even getting that one pick. Now this jump is just into the middle of the zone for the try. They are looking for a pick. They don't get it because they are isolated. We are in the single digits now. Those Tri-Strikes are going to come onto the zone. They're going to be on this middle instead of the zone, though, and that is just going to get painted over. There's no penalty applied. That's a KO.
That was a very fast game, actually. You could just see the counter going down ever so slightly. Seeing that counter going down as well as the clock, and Lethal Slide desperately trying to get that push back in, but not being able to. Quite an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, unfortunate indeed. Little fist bump there on the end screen to cement that victory. Oh man, that was, I mean, we saw relatively dominant from Night Logic, struggle for that for the first game, struggle for that second game, and then Night Logic coming back and saying, if you're staggered and you don't have that full team power, you're going to be alone in the zone. We have that turf control. We're able to just take you out a lot easier.
And then causes them to get sadly punished as a result.
All right, well, after that incredibly tense best of 3 set, we are going to move right along into Top Cut round 2. Very, very excited for that. We are going to be seeing Excalibur versus Reality Surf, and hopefully we get to see a show just as good as that first one.
Absolutely, or potentially even better.
Potentially even better indeed. I am going to pull up the bracket so I can take a look at this match that we have here. All right. Excalibur versus Reality. So if we're gonna start on we're gonna start on Mahi zones. So Mahi zones.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting's definitely one way to describe it. I personally, I just hold a grudge against Mahi. It's a personal thing. I recognize that it's not the worst map. I just don't like playing on it. I have
personal beef with that map.
I have no qualms with watching it be played, but please don't put me on Mahi Mahi Resort. I won't enjoy myself.
Anything but Mahi Mahi and mincemeat is what I would say.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I would say anything but Mahi Mahi, but it's it's a little low on the list. Oh,
If I have to, I'll play on it, but like I would rather not, you know?
You got 2 commentators with a personal grudge against the map that's been being played. How is this map gonna go? Oh well, but it's all in good fun, because Mahi is only the first game. Looking forward, we're gonna have Remaker and Tower match as well if we do see that best of 3. So it's Mahi. Only gonna be the beginning for this match. Taking a look at the teams that we have here, Excalibur having won their groups matches as well, only having dropped one game so far, actually. And then
Impressive.
yeah, very nice. Although yeah, it looks according to what I see here, there's the two set wins for them, and then Reality Surf having 4 set wins, dropping 2 games. So hopefully we get to see a nice match from these two teams.
Also, to anyone who is currently lurking in the chat right now, I hope everybody is having a wonderful Grand Fest this weekend. Personally, I went for Team Present, but that's purely because I prefer living in the present, you know? I understand everyone has their opinions about past, present, and future, but personally, living in the present is the most important to me. What about you?
Team Present as well. You know, although I do feel like the past and future hold their merits, I really enjoy, really like you said, living in the present. I think that's how I've gotten the most out of my life, taking opportunities that are handed to me and really making the most of every day. I love doing, I love doing stuff like this. I started back in 2021, and every time I'm on the mic, it brings me a huge amount of joy just to be able to
Absolutely.
interact with this community and see how it's developed. There's a lot of great things have happened in the past, a lot is in store for the future, and right now, it's Grandfest.
True. And as people are saying, as people are predicting, this might really dictate the next game in the future. You never know.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I do wonder how they will incorporate the other 2 teams if it does end up affecting things because when Chaos won, that did have an effect, but we had side order, right? So you kind of had like a little bit of a lesser thing, but like if one team wins and then when one team wins and the other 2 loses, are they going to take into account the degree by which those teams lose? Are we going to see another DLC? Are we going to see more maps. Honestly, I really loved having an alternative lobby for Grandfest. It is, I mean, you've seen screenshots and pictures all over. The crowd of jellies watching the fully choreographed idol concerts is just
It's
insane.
huge.
It's like, how am I supposed to play Turf War when I could just sit here watching this for hours?
I do have to say, I do have to admit that on my TikTok, I have ended up posting a video of just compiling all the clips I've gotten of the idols. Because to be honest, most of the Splatfest is purely just been me watching the idols singing my favorite songs. Really,
I
not
mean,
much playing, but
yeah.
more listening and watching. You know.
It's truly just so awesome. I love seeing the idol group so much. I think all 3 of them have personality. Off the Hook is admittedly my favorite, but I love all of their designs. It's so awesome what these devs have created.
Oh, absolutely. Um, I just lost my train of thought.
Come on, guys. We gotta get into the room. We gotta keep moving with Taka.
We gotta keep moving, guys.
Yeah. Oh, maybe there's technical difficulties, but also, get in the room, smiley face. That's
Smiley
just how
face
it is.
emoji.
I
Oh yeah,
TO
I
the
love
lobby
hearing
for
the fact of
fun.
like ebb and flow. I think Splatoon 2's music in general is probably some of my favorite tracks, especially because it's off the hook as well. Like the other idols' music is great, it is phenomenal, but Splatoon 2 holds a special place in my heart because that's when I joined the game, obviously.
Yeah, that is
So
incredibly true. It's funny because like I've TO'd and commentated so much more than I've played, right? So I'm always on the other side of the players, and half of me is like, I completely understand if you are having delays, and the other half of me is like, I want this tournament to run as fast as possible.
same, the competitive side of me comes out sometimes when having to wait, but at the end of the day, it it all gets played, every game gets played. It's just sometimes they start a little bit later and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want fast, then you make an event for it, like JPEG's fastest event in the West. We should have another one of those. Those are really fun.
Hmm.
Oh, I also
Um
wanted to say, like, when I was at Riptide, I saw a bunch of people wearing the LSL hats, and I didn't know those were a thing because I wasn't really keeping up on Twitter before Riptide. I would have bought one in a heartbeat if I had known.
I remember seeing them, but being really sad that I didn't have the money at the time to buy them. Like, it would be really cool to have merch from like tournaments that I help,
Yeah,
well,
I know. I had
commentate and manage. It would be really cool.
Yeah, tournament orgs merch and just and fan merch is some of my favorite stuff in the Splatoon scene. I have stickers from MIT and IPL and Double Trouble and yeah, I don't unfortunately don't own anything LSL related. I would have loved to have that hat. Oh man, yeah, just I mean, team merch is so cool. Going to Riptide and seeing like I know Ink 95 put on their whole the IRL table turf thing, and they had a ton of holographic stickers. I was handed 3 subs and 1 main of Quick Super Jump. Just like
That's awesome.
yes, I have them now. They're just like little charms. It's just really fun. Um, or like seeing people wear the king flip mesh and the shirts in real life is super fun. And a lot of people had their Grand Fest wristbands from
Oh
Nintendo, which
yeah.
I still need to redeem my platinum points for those before they sell out again.
I unfortunately wasn't able to make it a Riptide, but that's purely because I live in a completely different country. But seeing all of my friends posting on their Twitters about it was really cool, especially seeing one of my friends, Fufu, who commentates for Dapple Productions, also get time in the spotlight as a commentator there was really cool and awesome, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Riptide was an awesome experience, and I'm really glad that we were able to bring even just a little bit of that through the stream and all the tweets and stuff um, about everything happening. You know, people had those 3D printed real uh, life size Splatoon weapons, and I think those are some of the coolest things ever. Like seeing 2 people with E-liters and somebody with a dynamo and somebody with a tri-slosher and somebody with a tri-stringer just like walking around the venue. Man, it was so much fun.
I would love to one day go to like a tournament setting, like a LAN that's like in person. Like it would be really cool seeing the experience either commentating or even just playing. But then again, it's like getting the people to play
Yeah.
that can be eligible for that LAN at the time.
Yeah, definitely. Lands have a lot of logistical and financial stuff, but I mean it just increases my appreciation for the staff that puts them on. All right, Splat Zones. Let's get back to the Squid game. Mahi Mahi Resort Splat Zones Excalibur versus Reality Surf. Hope y'all enjoyed our tangent about Riptide and Lands, and you guys should go to Riptide 2025 because they did in fact announce it, and I should be there. But we're gonna look at the weapons that we have out here. Pencil coming out from both sides, no surprise to anybody. We have Tent from the Fool coming out.
I was about to say something about that. It's interesting seeing a tent, as to be honest, we don't really see it that often in high level or even low level play, really, in tournaments like this. So it's nice to see it every now and then.
Ooh, that's a nice message. And so yeah, I guess for the tent, usually it's more you have like players that are known for playing tent, right? It's like, oh, there's this person, they one trick tent. I can't wait to see what they do. Not necessarily something you associate with a level. So it's nice to see tent get played. I love seeing teams play around it. That is going to be 3 down on the side of Excalibur, unfortunately. Reality Surf going to come in just now take back the zone as these members of Excalibur are respawning and come back in. Those trip strikes going to be really important, as well as the cooler here for Excalibur to come pushing back, taking that zone. But the pencil's going to go down. The trip strikes are coming right back from Reality Surf. So with the brush down as well, and the tent a little bit far back, we're going to have the Splash here try and get something done, but they are a little bit outranged. They're not quite going to be able to get what they want. Water level's dropping, which is going to open up a lot of space right now, and Reality Surf did have that blaster go down for a moment. With the Zuka coming out, hopefully they're able to get something.
Absolutely, and as we can see, both defenses from both sides are very strong right now. Them going very backwards and forwards and trying to get that zone painted, and as we see right now, Reality Surf taking that zone back and also getting more points chipped off of that counter right now. I would the range blaster coming from Reality Surf is really working on getting those picks against the pencil and making sure that anyone who is really hanging around the edge there getting picked off and punished for it. But as we saw, the range blaster also ended up going down as I was talking there.
Yeah, we did see that push all the way to 8, but that is a full wipeout in favor of Excalibur. So you can see they're already taking this, going to use this to take a lot of space in front of that zone, make it that much more difficult for Reality Surf to push back in. They're painting for special. They have those trip strikes. They also have their special. Oh, but we see the pencil go down. The trip strikes are going to come out on the zone from both teams as well. That penalty is gone for Excalibur. This Zipcaster coming out looking for this pick as well. Octoshot not quite able to outrun it. That zone is contested right now, but it is going to go back to Excalibur. They lose their brush with the Wavebreaker coming out here as well. Reality Surf has a chance to push this back if they don't all get taken out here. The Blaster's going to come in. That's 2 down on the side of Excalibur. We have the Trip Strikes coming out to secure that zone. Reality Surf able to put on that penalty of 45 and take back the zone.
Yep, and as points are slowly getting taken off of that penalty right now, we see that Excalibur has taken that zone back and reset their points to take down to 62. That is a very long time that they're going to have to hold zone to get that penalty down if they so take the zone back. And as we can see, the strikes are also being brought out to hopefully try paint some of that zone, but it not working out in their favor.
Yeah, Zipcaster did go down there. Didn't quite get the fix there. What a nice pick from the pencil here. We have zones about half and half right now. You can see the tent there. They're going to come out, and the Trip Strikes also providing cover for them. I think they are just trying to make a little push here. We have a lot of strikes, and actually that penalty is entirely gone for Excalibur. I didn't even notice. We're almost down to the single digits here. 9-8 with 2 down on their side. They are just 1 point away from taking that lead, but we have the paint going down. We have 2 down on the side of Reality Surf. 8-3 right now. 3 down on the side of Reality Surf, though, and that is the knockout for Excalibur. Oh man, able to hold it together, just take down that penalty, and even when it all seemed lost, even Reality Surf was in the single digits, they said we are not giving up, and they held on to that.
I didn't even notice that they got that penalty down all the way there. I look back and see that they were getting counts down from their timer. It's very impressive to see how a team that might be in disfavor during the game can really pull back and take the objective and actually reverse and win the game. It's very impressive when I see teams do that, especially if the game wasn't in their favor at the start of the game too.
Mentality and team play, just being able to say we are not in favor right now, but we keep working at it over the course of this 5, 4, 3 minutes, and we're going to get there. Because the first part of trying to achieve your goal is believing that you're going to get it. And so having that mentality, being able to work towards that, super, super important. And we definitely saw that out of Excalibur here. Very nice.
And that is very important. Teams being able to really come together and synchronize really and synergize with each other's weapon choices and really get the push in and get those specials that they really needed to essentially keep the zone and also keep the enemy team out. And in this case, Excalibur managed to take the game away from Reality Surf when all seems that they were really, really close to winning that game there as well.
Yeah, we are going to move to Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge. And oh boy, we are about to see some chaos here. I really, really want to see that tent come back. We are going to see the tent. Hooray! The Fool provides me with entertainment once again. We've got the head coming out.
The umbrella too?
Wait.
No, I didn't. Sorry, I'm seeing things wrong. I saw an icon wrong.
Ah, man, you got my hopes up. Double umbrella, make a wish.
I saw the NZAP as umbrella for some reason.
NZAP is my favorite umbrella. You heard it here first. Oh man, but yeah, so with Rainmaker here, we're gonna see those trip strikes come out, see that crap. Both these teams are using those specials to vie for center here, but with 2 down, losing those main forces here. Reality Surf is going to have the upper hand, gonna pick up the Rainmaker. They do have to watch for the members of Excalibur back here with that cooler, but with that quick painting of the Slosher, no bronze goes down, they are able to take that big golden fish and take it to the checkpoint. We have some trip strikes going out on the Rainmaker here. And Reality Surf still able to maintain their positioning here. The tent versus the Splasher.
I'm surprised that 10 able to hold that. I was about to mention that they were hiding behind them when they were trying to pop the Rainmaker, that they did not notice the tent painting behind them.
I mean, truly, I didn't notice the tent either, and I also thought they were about to fall off the map, but they didn't, and that's awesome for them. We got the Zuka versus the Crab here. Unfortunately, not quite going in favor because of a little unnoticed bomb there. We had the Zipcaster come out. That's actually 3 down on the side of Reality Zip right now, but Slosher able to pull out a clutch pick before jumping out. Not before a teammate jumps out to them, though. Do have one slightly Sims over there slightly
Simpson jumping out there right there.
They will jump out. I think that's a good idea. Good to not be staggered, come back to your team. Edit here also almost has their cooler, so that is going to be great. 68 to 60 right now, relatively close. You know both of these teams have fun.
Well, they are definitely eager to get that Rainmaker and push the points, even if it's very slightly. That push that they might manage to get could be very important for them later in the game, especially if they have a comfortable push and a lot of points in the clock.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of time left in this game. You're not that far out. That's a nice pick there. You have a lot of pressure coming out from Rainmaker, from Edit, from Zuka, all of these things. The brush, though, they gotta watch out for that. They definitely see him, but just a little bit too late. Edit not quite able to get that pick. We have the Crab, though, but that is 2 down the side of Reality Surf. 10 here. Shield out, gonna protect that Rainmaker. Oh, but I think that was a, yeah, that was a bomb pick.
It was. I saw that sneaky suction bomb there. I didn't realize it was
yeah.
so close to detonating.
Yeah, those suction bombs, absolute killers with a huge amount of damage they put out. But that lead is going to be a log
to 29.
29. Yes, some fancy footwork coming out there from Reality Surf, and I say fancy footwork. I just mean seeing that Aiken absolutely running for it. You know, saw that Zap turn around, but couldn't quite make it there in time. So now the bar has been set quite a lot higher for Excalibur to clear.
I'm pretty sure the Rainmaker holder that pushed it to 29 really just ignored the fact that there was enemy paint on the floor and still pushed it forward, which I respect, honestly. Points are points at the end of the day, and if you think you can push it further, then go for it at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. 10 again using their shield to their absolute advantage, going to jump out, coming and join their teammates. I love that both of these teams have just a really good awareness of where they need to be when they say, hey, I'm a little bit too far out, I can just come back and support the team. Tri-Strike's coming out here from both teams again. They just seem to have the same brain cell of when they need to be getting that space and that energy out. The Brush gonna go with the Zipcaster, not getting exactly what they want. They do get taken up. That is also 3 down the side of Reality Surf with the shot here, not quite able to survive. So Reality Surf gonna take this. Rainmaker gonna run it as far as possible. They are taking the lead by just a few points, 8 to be exact. You can see they ran that behind the block, so the members of Reality Surf weren't able to take it from them, and suddenly the tides of this game have flipped. Only a minute remaining, and this awesome Crab tank coming out here, but also getting taken out themselves. Reality Surf now has to make a huge push of their own again.
That was a very interesting positioning from the Crab tank right there, leaving themselves very vulnerable from behind there, which caused them to unfortunately get picked off from the side.
Yeah, that, again, interesting positioning, but hey, if it broke, don't fix it. Oh, that brush is dropping there, does get a pick, but Slosher says, I don't think so, you're not doing that anymore. Reality Surf losing 2 members is not where they want to be in the last 30 seconds of this game, but we have the jump in, we have that Crab, nicely positioned on top, looking for a pick. Doesn't find the one they want. I almost wonder if that was just a little bit early, because now they don't have the support, the push that they are making right now. They have to get these picks, but get the splash taking out means they lose a lot of their paint, and that Octobrush is in such a strong position to prevent the Rainmaker from going out. Bronze on that Zuka, but they have to watch out for the little flank on here. Oh, that Rainmaker is alone. They're forced to go back into mid overtime, but unfortunately not able to make that push happen. Now, that is our set, I believe.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, that game going to Excalibur right
man.
there, which means they take 2 points, and Reality Surf taking 0 points, unfortunately, which causes them to lose the set.
Yeah, I will say, though, that GG's indeed, but that score absolutely does not tell the whole story of what happened in that set, because we saw Reality Surf with that awesome push to, I believe it was 29. Like, that was still incredible. I mean, Excalibur had a push just slightly stronger than that, but still, great moments of team play from that we saw coming out here.
those were two very close games coming from Excalibur and Reality Surf right there. And of course, anything can happen at the end of the day, seeing how Reality Surf had a very good push in that Rainmaker game there, but Excalibur really pushing that Rainmaker and sneaking past Reality Surf, getting it closer towards the final podium right there and taking lead.
Totally. I mean, sometimes that's how Rainmaker goes. Like, we didn't see a KO from either team, but we just saw a matter of how much farther can you get up this one specific ramp.
Oh,
and
absolutely. That
yeah,
ramp is really notorious for taking a lot of points right place for it.
all right. Well, I do think that is going to do it for us as a commentator duo. We saw a couple of awesome games in Top Cut here, and we are readying up for the rest of Top Cut on LSL, which is going to be super duper awesome. We're going to hand the mic to Pat and Rocket, but right before we go, Marshy, where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet?
Well, as you can see, my Twitter handle is in the stream right now at Pinky Dink, but my TikTok is also the same as my Twitter handle, so you'll be able to find me on Twitter and TikTok if anybody would like to follow. I post very mixed content on my TikTok, which consists of Splatoon, cosplay currently, and occasionally also Genshin Impact.
Super awesome.
And what about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me at Cater_or Cater, Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky. I post art, I cast, I do cool stuff like this. So, with that, we are going to hand the mic to our next block. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay fresh, stay hydrated, stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. This is now the time for semifinals of Little Squid League 43. So many teams entered, but only 4 teams are left standing, fighting for the crown. I am Pat, here with Rocket. Rocket, are you ready to rock the stage and watch these awesome teams?
I am more than ready, Pat. We are in for a wonderful match here. We are looking at Sea Dragons versus Pretty and Ink. And if you want a little background on the teams here, Sea Dragons are the champions of Luddy Div 10, so they are, but they are pretty stacked here, and they have some previous achievements to be proud of. But on the other side, Pretty and Ink are no team to be taken lightly either, as they've had a pretty good tournament run so far in Little Squid League number 43.
Yeah, one thing that these two teams have in common is that they've only dropped a single game so far between the groups and the start of this bracket. These two teams each have dropped one game, and that's it. They've been absolutely shredding, and I can't wait to see these two big teams meet each other. And that's what you see at the end of the LSL is teams that are incredibly hot with a lot of momentum running into each other, and that running is always a pleasure to watch. Pretty Ink bringing the Tetras and a Decapitator on the side of Sea Dragons. That's a Hydra and a Range Blaster. Two very different ways to play the game. One wants to run in and the other one wants to stand in position.
Yeah, and as a reminder to everybody, we are in best of 5 now, so it is first to 3 will take this set. But as we look at the early action, Sea Dragons off to an early wonderful start here, managing to already take down 3 members of Pretty Ink, already set up in a great position as well. This Neo Splash has the triple Ink Strike to further delay, and they will go out as well, continuing to add to Sea Dragon's score. And I want to mention, you mentioned it at the beginning, that these comps are very diverse. As we see a great Zuka shot that actually manages to take out 2 members of Sea Dragons, and a third falls behind, and Pretty and Ink are able to retake the zone. But what I was saying is, you mentioned the difference in play styles, and it's really interesting to see the Tetra release here.
Yeah, especially the white Tetra release is not a weapon we see so much, but I've heard from competitive players of all levels that Tetras are coming back, that Julies overall are getting better and better at the game as we understand more and more how good they can be again. And yeah, watch out for the Julies, they are coming back. As I say that, the Sea Dragons are trying to come back onto the zone, the strikes are not enough to paint it, and Pretty Ink is holding the zone incredibly strong. They've been holding it since their retake, and right now Sea Dragons are struggling to get in. They're painting as much as they can. They haven't applied penalty yet, and we're still in that tense fight. The Hydra goes down. It's just Saturn. Saturn's cannot paint with a range blaster. Pretty Ink holds the zone.
Yeah, but as we see, a brilliant shot from them. However, not much paint to be had onto the zone, and Pretty and Ink looks to be taking this map if the Hydra can't get onto the zone, and unfortunately, they will be taken down by the edit, which means Pretty and Ink, although they didn't get the first cap, strike back with a vengeance in a straight knockout, taking game 1.
Yeah, very, very nice hold by Pretty and Ink. And that's the deal with Sea Dragons. Their comp is very good to win the opening fight because you have more range, because you're expecting your opponent to run at you. The specials are not there yet. But Pretty Ink, once they are in control, the Sea Dragons comp, it's very slow. And going in onto the zone is going to be very rough unless you get a full wipe, and Pretty Ink managed to simply keep themselves in the fight, which allowed them to take game number 1. But Rocket, you said earlier, we're in best of 5. We will see more games, and more importantly than that, we are in counterpick, which means Sea Dragons get to choose the next map and the next mode.
Yeah, and having that ability is so key because you're just able to work with the map modes that you are more specifically comfortable with, you're more practiced with. So obviously losing hurts, but obviously the trade-off of that is you can come back with a vengeance, and that is something that Sea Dragons are now discussing most likely with their team, what would work with their comp. And taking a look and just remembering at the comps that they ran, Sea Dragons had that blaster, they had that Hydra. They seem to have a comp that's more oriented on once you have the zone, just never look back, just hold on to it at all times. But unfortunately, they were pushed out fairly quickly, and we saw that they were just unable to get in due to the limiting paint ability of the
Mhm.
range blaster.
Yeah, and in all other modes, you have to run into your opponent. You have to run at them, which is the thing Sea Dragons is good at stopping. So I feel like any mode that isn't Splat Zones will be good for them. And especially if it's tower control, that range blaster was doing the works, was fighting incredibly well. I feel like tower control has to be their strong mode, but we'll see what they decide to do, where they decide to go. It's all on them right there.
Yeah, 100%. Just if I were to think, like you mentioned, Tower Control is a good map for that, but I'm also thinking of maybe other just specific maps in general to specifically allow the range blaster to really take advantage of things. Probably thinking like, I don't know, like a map like Mako Mart specifically, where you can or you're able to camp those ledges and just deter any enemies from even approaching the tower. So I think maybe Mako Mart Tower Control could be an interesting pick here, but there's a
Mm.
lot of choices, and I'm sure they can't go wrong.
Yeah, lots of choices that can be made. It's all on the Sea Dragon, and they are taking their sweet time to choose their counter pick so far. We're still waiting on it, and yeah, they honestly take the time to discuss. If you reach semifinals of LSL, you have the right to take your time and think as much as you can. How do we beat these Pretty Ink team?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if they're taking this time, they might be switching up their comps a little bit as well. That is
Mhm.
definitely not out of the picture at all.
Yeah.
However, they may just be discussing just maybe just looking at the other side, looking at what Pretty in Ink ran with the Tetras and
Mhm.
all of their other weapons, just seeing what could they possibly counterpick.
Yeah, lots of questions. And I feel like Pretty Ink would like to go to a Rainmaker because they liked going fast. They wanted to go fast. They were taking every fight. So if the mode is a bit speedy, that I feel like Pretty in Ink would like that. Again, that combo that they had between the Tetras and the Decavitator was working so well together, was doing so much in terms of they were constantly going for every fight that they could, and it was working for them. They were winning most of these fights, which really paid off for Pretty Ink.
Yeah, and just looking at a little bit of Pre and Inks on
Mm-hmm.
at least Sendu, I'm noticing one of their members, Zucchini, actually has a badge for winning first in Table Turf Battle Open, which is a little bit, which is really funny to see because
Oh,
just like a fun fact about them, but their ability to have that is just hilarious to me, and also being able to compete at a high level here. But we actually see the map pick coming in now, and it is tower control. However, it's going to be on ship-shape cargo.
that's a great choice because they have the Hydra, and Pretty Ink hasn't shown any range to contest that Hydra splatling on Ship-Shaped Cargo Co. That Hydra can simply stand on top of the tower and nobody can approach it. That is a very nice option. Sea Dragons, all they need to do is hold that control over mid for long enough, and they have the tools to do it. Now they know that Pretty Ink will run at them. These Tetras, these Decapitators, they will go for the fight. We'll see if the Sea Dragons are able to stop these fights before they can happen. It's all going to be decided by them. But honestly, that's a pretty nice counter pick on the side of Sea Dragons.
Yeah, and kind of like what you mentioned, Pat, if Sea Dragons are to counter those more rushing weapons such as the Decavitator, they need to be able to group together and maybe take these more advantageous fights, being able to take 2-on-1s or ones where the Decav is in a bad spot. But I think that would be the key in deciding how this match turns out, as Shipshape Cargo has been notorious for being very snowbally, especially near the second checkpoint.
Yeah, it can be a rough one. Lots of things can happen. And one thing to note, Rocket, is that checkpoint, that first checkpoint on the Ship-Shaped Cargo Co. is the longest checkpoint in the game. I think it's like 15 seconds, but it feels like an eternity in Splatoon time. You have to hold that checkpoint for so long. It will be rough. We'll see what brings. And the same comp seems to come on one side. And ooh, Sea Dragons ditching the Hydra. going for less range. They're trying to match the speed that Pretty Ink is giving.
Yeah, and noticeably as well, Mr. Saturn switching from the Range Blaster to the S-Splash, which I think is a good choice here, considering the special usage, the Booyah Bomb, the ability to kind of act in the similar way as the Triple Ink Strike, GG Strikes, if you will, just being able to deny any presence on the tower whatsoever. But as we see here, the edit is able to get their cooler up for Pretty and Ink, and they're able to group up on the side, managing to find 2 members of Sea Dragons, and this is already a great initial start for Pretty and Ink, as we see the edit is trying to hunt for that player we just saw, however, not quite being able to find much. However, no one has really made much progress on the tower.
Yeah, both teams really struggling to keep that control over mid. The Sea Dragons throwing the Booyah Bomb simply to stop. There will be no checkpoint yet. And ooh, what a direct by the S-Blast there. That is still control for the Sea Dragons, who are letting the tower come back. But again, they need to get full control over mid if they want a shot at that checkpoint.
Yeah, and now Sea Dragon's turn. Ooh, another crit shot in the S-Blast. We are seeing it do so much damage, almost managing to cancel out that cooler. However, the decap on the other side, Pretty and Ink manages to find 3 in the chaos. And now Sea Dragons are just left with the Gale here, who manages to find the trade to avenge their teammates. However, they will be forced to fall back. The Tetra Dualies, unfortunately, not being able to find much value on that initial push. The shot going down as well to this Gale. And this Gale is causing so much damage here. Just it's gone back and forth between individual heroic plays from both of these teams.
It is not stopping. The fight for mid goes on as Zippy with the Decapitator is defending, and it looks like Pretty and Ink is going to bring the tower to the checkpoint again, this time with a big bubbler. Pretty and Ink is looking like they're going to get checkpoint 1. The strikes come in with 1 second left on the checkpoint. Pretty and Ink needs to step on the tower. They need to step on the tower right now, and it's just a heavy edit. It's not going to be enough. The checkpoint has fallen. Pretty and Ink is going through the court onto checkpoint number 2.
Yeah, and you mentioned that is a really hard checkpoint to take because you have to wait there so long. But now that they have it, Pretty and Ink are in a wonderful spot, including the lead. However, Sea Dragons are not out of this quite yet. They are fighting with a vengeance here, as the Gale has already pushed up so far into Pretty and Ink's side of the map that they are just creating so much space for their team to operate behind them, just giving them so much time to work with, managing to find a pick onto the Tetra Dualies, but will fall themselves. And Sea Dragons, unfortunately, are losing some steam on their push. They do go 3 players down, and it is just left to the edit to run for the hills to fight another day.
That's pretty rough for the Sea Dragons. Right now they have 2 minutes left to get a lead, and ooh, what a lunge by the Decapitator. Getting the splat, and that's another push by Pretty and Ink. There's nobody to defend on the side of the Dragons. 3 down is just the Gale, and all of Pretty and Ink are moving forward, getting back to that second and final checkpoint again with another bubbler.
Yeah, that bubbler is going to be key, and it pops as well. The cooler there as well. However, with 2 players down, the coolers will be able to at least get the spawns. However, Pretty and Ink are back with a quick wipeout that will just straight up end the game right then and there. Now up 2-0. Sea Dragons need to go back to the drawing board and see if they can find a map mode that works for them, because if they drop one more game, they are out of here in a sweep.
Yeah, Rocket, the fight for mid was pretty even, but the Sea Dragons never managed to win that fight really much, whereas Pretty and Ink got several pushes, and these pushes did the numbers. They did the job. They got them the KO. Sea Dragons, right now, they need to stop the bleeding. They need to go to any map mode where they feel comfortable and where they can play their best, because I feel like they're able to get these fights. They're able to get some momentum, but every time they make that one extra mistake, that goes against them. Now they need to reset their mindset. They need to go back into what they know how to do, because it feels like if they just lock on for one game, they could take on this Pretty Ink team.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%, Pat. They should focus on taking things one step ahead. Don't think of this as you have to win 3 straight games. No, that's not where you start with this, because it's just going to be too much for your game mental to think. Focus on winning 1 game. Take things 1 step at a time. And like I mentioned before, Sea Dragons are the victors of Luddy Division 10, so they've been in high pressure competitions before. They know what it's like to win, and they know how to how to fight back in these tournaments. So I highly doubt that this will be at least a smooth game 3 that we will see. But yeah, we definitely saw a little bit more fight from the Sea Dragons, but like you mentioned, just unfortunately unable to stop the unrelenting momentum of Pretty in Ink.
Yeah, they are getting there. They're learning how to fight Pretty in Ink. They're learning what they can do against that team. And honestly, you're not used to fight a Tetris Decapitator duo. That's not what you're used to fight. Usually, you're used to go against anything else. But that's a weird duo, incredibly fast, incredibly aggressive, and you have to learn to respect their range, respect their like they can attack you from very much farther than it seems. You have to be ready for that. Once and Sea Dragons, they are learning, they're getting better and better at fighting Pretty in Ink. It's just a matter of learning fast enough, on adapting fast enough. If they do so, they could win that game on their next counter pick. But they need to bring everything they have in order to revert the momentum, because so far Pretty in Ink, I mean, they have a lot of momentum. They are doing incredibly, incredibly well.
Yeah, but it's not all bad from Sea Dragons at all. I did see some bright spots in their game there. The Gale and the S-Blast were key players for Sea Dragons. They were just able to get these multi-kills and really put themselves in better positions to push off of that. So I'm wondering if that's something that they should focus on, especially as well. Another thing, they need to be able to shut down the decav who we saw was able to basically shut down not one but two entire sets of Sea Dragon pushes, just single-handedly, because they were able to utilize the range of the decav and, like you mentioned, the unexpected range sometimes of how far it can travel.
Yeah, and now the Sea Dragons have chosen the next map to fight on. This is their last counter pick of these semifinals. Clam Blitz onto Scourge Gorge. That's a good choice from them, because Pretty in Ink, they're hot-headed. They want to run in, they want to have fights. Sea Dragons, if they're able to find the coordination, if they're able to manage the clan economy instead of simply trying to manage the fights, they could get the edge there. I expect Pretty in Ink to keep going in, keep trying to get the fights, while Sea Dragons try to collect more clams and win on that aspect. So Pretty in Ink, they need to make a big push. If they're able to get a big push, they win. But Sea Dragons, if they're able to play the clams better, stay coordinated despite the Decapitator running at them, they have a good opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. And if Pretty in Ink does run a Decapitator, which they will here, I think their initiation of the push will be obviously not only the decav being able to get a pick or two and create that presence, but also Keely the bubble just to create even more space to shut down. But we're seeing, I think, a similar comp coming from Sea Dragons. I believe, however, the regular Splash is new on the other side. That Crab is just going to be so vital for them in that defense. So it's going to remain to be seen who really comes out in this first initial mid-fight. However, it does look like Sea Dragons does get up the initial pick and claim advantage.
Yep, right now Pretty in Ink activating the Tacticular, taking control over top mid, and with Bazooka finding a double, almost finding a triple right there. That's a huge one. They have to step away to collect a few clams, though the Super Clam is not ready, but Blue with the heavy edit is holding the basket area, and now that's already a huge push by Pretty in Ink. They're not wasting a second here.
Yeah, as soon as Pretty in Ink saw an opportunity, they struck, and they really struck for the knockout punch. And they're already at the 39-point mark. It remains to be seen, though, if any clams will be coming in to follow up on it. However, no clams will be had to just continue the opening of it. So the bleeding does stop, at least for Sea Dragons, a little bit, but they are already down significantly. So they need to find their own quick opportunity to strike here. And this is and the cooler for Sea Dragons is probably a good place to start with it. However, they do go 2 players down, so they need to play a little bit more defensively at the moment in prevention to just being straight up knocked out here.
Yep, it's It's working pretty rough right now. The Sea Dragons have a huge lead to combat from, but at least they have control over the basket. They have the tactical activated. It's a matter of finding the splats. That's exactly what they do. Already 2 down onto Pretty in Ink. Sea Dragons able to move forward, able to get on forward and get more splats. They get in. The ball is not going to help you in order to defend. Sea Dragon still trying to go forward. They're gonna grab that that Pediclam, I guess. Oh, or not. Not ready to get the push yet, but yep, we grab the Pediclam with super jump in. Let's see how it's going in the attack. There's more coming, but the Stuka needs to be dodged.
Oh my goodness, but the Zuka from Pretty in Ink and the decaf just shut that push right down, and now an opportunity arises for Pretty in Ink. The cooler goes out, the decaf is farming their special, just waiting for an opportunity. Unfortunately, it will go down. However, the pop is still to be had. However, a wipeout now for Pretty in Ink. They are completely off of this, and no more push to be had. Unfortunately, nothing in terms of the score to be reduced. Only the penalty points were affected. Now it is just back to Sea Dragons on this aggressive. See if they can get their first score of this off of this Booyah bomb.
Yeah, with that Booyah bomb, it looks like the basket is going to be open. The Sea Dragons have a lot of clams, but they already pummeled 2 super clams in. They need 1 more plus a single more clam. Okay, they're out of clams, so they'll have to give some ground to Pretty Ink right now. The fight is still going. Valencia is going to get picked, and that's Pretty Ink establishing their defense, getting some momentum back. Again, 1.5 minutes left, but Sea Dragons, I mean, they scored some points. If they get the same push again, they could get the lead.
Yeah, but the clam economy looks very much in Pretty in Ink's favor. Look at this, 3 balls already formed for the side of Pretty in Ink. However, that's not going to help you too much if your team gets wiped off, as 3 members went down there for Pretty in Ink, and is just left to the Zuka here, who jumped out of this. I believe this is yes, this is the shot. The Zuka just trying to find a pick to stop Sea Dragons advance a little bit, as they're able to at least hold on to one of those 2 balls. However, it is still pretty contested in this midpoint. 3 players of Sea Dragons are down now, and with 55 seconds left, this could be the killing blow if this decap can lead the way for their team.
That's a big bubbler under the basket, which is reopened. More clams coming, more points for Pretty Ink. They are down to 24 now, and they have enough clams to get the victory. Blue just getting under there, getting the clams in 3-2. More clams is all that's needed. But there's only Jay left under there. They can keep the basket open, and that's going to be game number 3 for Pretty in Ink.
Sweeping the semifinals series right there. That was very close at the very end. Unfortunately, that last 1v1 decided things. Jay coming out on top and winning this game for Pretty in Ink, and just a dominating show from Pretty in Ink, as I believe that was just 3 straight knockouts for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Sea Dragons, they put up a hell of a fight. They gave everything they had, but Pretty in Ink just on a different level. They're really able to show how good they are. They all still now, they only lost a single game in this LSL. They are incredibly strong going into the finals. Congratulations to them. We'll probably wait for the other side of the bracket to see who they will have to face. Yeah, the other 2 teams on the other side, they are 2-2. They are fighting till the bitter end. We'll see how they can do. Whew, Rocket, that was Pretty in Ink absolutely speed running this LSL.
Yeah, and they're pretty big underdogs as well. They are the 21st seed who just took down the 4th seeded Sea Dragons, and despite their what their seeding may say, they seem like powerhouses in this tournament. So being able to make it to grand finals is just impressive in its own right. But like you mentioned, Pat, we will wait for that game 5 between Excalibur and Fruit Gummies in the others bottom semifinals. But while we wait for that, we will take a momentary quick break, and we will be right back for grand finals in LSL number 43. We have made it, chat. We have made it, Pat. We are here in Little Squid League number 43 Grand Finals between Pretty and Ink and Excalibur. Excalibur coming out in that previous semifinals match victorious, which came to a game 5, but we are here now to see the best of the best go at it, and taking a look at Pretty and Ink's comp. They are running the same comp, and on the other side, Excalibur running their traditional comp as well. And I think an interesting interaction between these two teams is going to be that decaf versus that Octobrush duel.
Yeah, and both teams are bringing a Zcaster to the mix. We're going to see Spider-Man duels, and I can't wait. Right now, it looks like Excalibur is getting a few more splats with the tripling strike. They should be able to take control over the zone. 3 down onto Pretty and Ink. Pretty and Ink. Nobody has been able to contest them so far. Excalibur, it looks like they are doing exactly that.
Yeah, off to a good start. Excalibur now at the 75-point mark with 2 members of Pretty and Ink down. They are in a great position to defensively hold this. However, this kind of needs to be aware of the Zuka, which will take them down. And Dreamy on the side of Excalibur does have Zipcast available to try to find a pick. However, won't find much value, but it won't even matter because the rest of Excalibur are able to shut down Pretty and Ink. And now with 35 seconds left, it is looking all Excalibur. However, Pretty and Ink are now at least mounting somewhat of a push to try to contest Excalibur in the mid here.
Yep, Pretty Ink still struggling to paint the zone as Excalibur is getting in. Dreamy with the brush is getting Chew, is punishing so much. Penalty wasn't applied. Rocket, and with 25 ticks left onto the zone. Pretty Ink, they have only one more push to get in and to save the game.
Yeah, this Edit just trying desperately, manages to find 2 over Keeley and just left to Dreamy and Cupid. Dreamy will go down, unfortunately, for Excalibur, but members of Excalibur are still jumping in. The count is going now. The zone is still Excalibur's, and they will get a wipeout, managing to take game 1. That was huge on the side of Excalibur for them to maintain the zone with 5 seconds left.
I mean, Excalibur, absolutely incredible there. Really, they kept control of the zone. At some point, they only had the pencil left alive. There were 3 people on the side of Pretty Ink, but Excalibur able to paint, just have that burst painting of the pencil, enough for the rest of the team to come back and get back to painting, get back to slaying. Dominance over the objective by Excalibur, opening incredibly strong. And remember, Pretty Ink until now, they had only lost 1 game, but now you can make it 2 because Excalibur has started incredibly strong.
Yeah, this just shows how great of a team that Excalibur is, setting the pace early, and key players for Excalibur in that match were Dreamy and Cupid. Dreamy just with the ability to just create so much space and get behind members of Pretty and Ink, getting multi-kills, and Cupid as well, being that key anchor, and was the only player alive for Excalibur when they went 3 down, and Keeley continued painting the zone, which allowed them to stay away from losing the point and adding on penalty points. But what a energetic way and jolt to set off this set, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Pretty Ink were not ready for that speed. Were not ready for that kind of power. They've had a pretty easy run through their side of the bracket. Meanwhile, Excalibur, they've been fighting. Their previous set, their semifinals, went to a game 5. They had to fight incredibly hard to get here. And now it's the team that has a few battle scars, that is on top. That's the power of having to grow through a little bit more difficulty. And now Pretty Ink, they're the ones for the first time who have to step up their game. But I mean, we saw them in the semifinals. They were incredibly strong. I'm sure that going on to their own counterpick, they should be able to find their own pace and counter what Excalibur is doing. And they're going to go right away onto Shipshape Cargo Company for tower control.
Yeah, we just saw earlier on stream, Pat, how well Pretty and Ink just dominated Sea Dragons in that, pretty effectively snowballing off of one team fight. They were able to get mid control early and just were never able to release. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can repeat their same success against Excalibur, and it seems like if I were both teams, honestly, I would stick with the same comps because there were no major issues. It was pretty balanced between the both ways, and really interestingly enough, I'm curious to see if that Tenebrella is continued to be played here as well, but that remains to be seen as we will take a quick look at these team comps. No changes on the side of Pretty in Ink, and on the other side, no major changes for Excalibur.
Yeah, and remember, ship-shaped tower control, it's not just that they won on it, it was counterpicked against them, and they got the KO on it. That's how confident they can feel on it. They can win in a KO when it's their opponent's favorite map. So now, they're the ones that, now it's their counterpick now. They get to decide to go on there, and ooh, very nice slash onto the brush right there. It's not going to go for long with 2 down on Pretty in Ink. Right there, it looks like Excalibur is still in that fight and are getting on top of the mid. The jumps are getting called, but Tetras are able to run away and save themselves. Both teams still fighting for mid right there. It is not stopping. Here comes the Strice rocket, but I mean, both teams dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, it is still heavily contested for this important mid control, and no team has been able to muster a push. However, with Pretty and Ink managing to take down 3 members and a delayed wipe for Excalibur, this could be what they needed as they go towards the first checkpoint, and this is a very key checkpoint to take because if they're able to take this, they're able to snowball so well, especially with the shot having Zuka available. The Zuka will go out, managing to find 1 in its wake, and importantly as well, the decal has that bubble for this second checkpoint hit. This could be dangerous for Excalibur.
Indeed, Pretty and Ink repeating what they did the last time they were on this map, controlling things, and with 3 down though, it looks like Excalibur is able to get the defense, is able to get the wipe out. Excalibur defending pretty strong, but now it's their turn to find the push. They need to coordinate a good push and break that checkpoint themselves.
Yeah, we're watching Dreamy now, the ace for Excalibur, the backline presence, and now with the cooler, you have to think that they will probably have the confidence now to push in with that Zipcaster to get behind the Zuka going out as well. Full kill from Dreamy there. Keely now being able to take advantage of that. The rest of the Excalibur members, Cupid and Slush, are able to rally onto that tower and take control of it now, itching to go and close the lead between these two teams. The Tetras just being such a annoyance on the side and thorn in the side of Excalibur on the side that will try to delay them a little bit. However, look at the score difference between both of these teams. It is so close.
It is close indeed, but it looks like Pretty and Ink are going to stick to their lead. 4 points is what separates these two teams, and we're only halfway through the game. There's no checkpoint 1 anymore, so any push could go so far in Rocket, and Pretty and Ink are counting on that. They activate the cooler, they want to go in, and they're already trying to get exactly there. They have taken control of that platform, holding right there with 2 down onto Excalibur. This could be a huge push for Pretty and Ink.
Yeah, this shot is pushed all the way up into Excalibur's side of the map, taking a fight with Slush. Will get traded out, however, will take 1 down before they fall, and Keely, though, they will not have that Zuka off a spawn, but the specials are in favor of Excalibur. Dreamy with the Zipcaster will try to go in, will try to find some value here. Is trying to go near the tower, will manage to find 1, manages to find 2 on, and trying to go for the 3rd. However, the efforts are enough for Dreamy, for the rest of their team to push in. Excalibur continuing to move with this, the triple ink strike available for them as well, and this could be turned on its head pretty quickly for Excalibur. However, Pretty and Ink were able to extend their lead a little bit down to 16.
That was an incredible checkpoint by Zippy with the Decapitator. They had the big bubbler on the tower, so that allowed them to tank a lot of shots, but still the Zipcaster was coming in. Everybody was getting into the bubbler. But the Decapitator was able to dance, and right now with a huge splat, that is another push for Pretty and Ink, who want to extend their lead, who want to keep control over the tower. Last minute, and Excalibur is looking at a loss as the same, but they get the splats that they want. It's just one last person. Everybody's trying to jump in, but everybody from Excalibur is ready to punish right there. Here comes Zuka and 2 down. There is no more cooler. That's going to be a good push for Excalibur. They need to make the best of it.
Yeah, they're running out of time. The 10th managing to find a good kill there. Trying to escape from the edit, however, the edit will take the camp down, and this managing to find one, unfortunately, will fall into the water. And with 10 seconds left, there's just one member left for Excalibur on the mid. Dreamy and Jay will be the duelers for that. Jay will come out on top and just left to Cupid to try to maintain the tower, try to keep Excalibur in it, but it will not be enough. Pretty and Ink even things up 1-1.
And that map really worked to their strengths. That Decapitator was dancing around here, getting all the pushes and getting the checkpoints, the final checkpoint to confirm the lead, to get so much more use, so much time of Excalibur. We are now 1-1. Both of these teams have a point on the board and want to get some more. It is best of 5, and it's Excalibur's turn to choose the map and mode.
That match was basically how this set is turning out so far. Just back and forth punches between the two. Keely, I noticed between both of those players, we mentioned Jay on the decab, getting that key triple to end Excalibur, and I believe that was off of just one charge slash too, that just able to line up all 3 players. It made him look like Fruit Ninja, like a Fruit Ninja over there, but on the opposite side as well, Dreamy was able to make some key plays for Excalibur, getting multi-kills, so that is definitely something to keep your eye on, because those 2 players can make or break their respective teams, as they are just able to create so much chaos in the backline, and they're just able to pop out of nowhere, given the weapons that they use, Decap for Jay and Octobrush for Dreamy.
Yep, it's so much, and both of these teams have the potential to create the surprise, to simply get in, lock on, get a huge push. Remember Excalibur's break over the checkpoint. Dreamy with the brush got the Zipcaster and got a double with just a few swipes of the brush. That was huge, and if Excalibur is able to repeat that kind of moves a few more times during the game, they get the victory, especially now that we go into Clam Blitz on Scourge Gorge. This is their counterpick. This is the one they want to play on. We don't see much change in terms of comp. These teams, they know what they want to play. These players, they know what weapon they like. It's all about the coordination.
I'm getting a sense of deja vu here, Pat, if I'm not mistaken. Ship-Shape Cargo Rainmaker Game 2, Scorch Gorge Clam on Game 3, but we always see this. And did you see Jay already off to a hot start, or Zippy actually is off to a hot start on the decap now, just able to create so much space with the decap. Already so far into the Excalibur side of the map, and already has Keely the big bubbler up. This could be what they need for the push, however the clans need to come in, but Keely shut down by the suction bomb there. An unfortunate spot to be in if you're on the side of Pretty Ink. However, a ball is made, so it will be a pop that will go in, and it remains to be seen if there is any follow-up on this. However, Excalibur will be able to respawn in time, regroup in time, and muster up a solid defense, so no more push to be had as the decap goes down, and so does Pretty Ink's first push.
Yep, and a push to 80 is always like a double-edged sword. You get the lead, but you give a super clamp to your opponent. You use a lot of resource just to not get that many points right there. As I say that, the fight for mid is going pretty strong. Both teams trying to get the upper hand. Dreamy getting the splat onto the heavy edit and getting another splat with that is going to give all the momentum to Excalibur. Excalibur needs to get the clams now, need to get a ball at the ready and get in. The ball is there. Now it's time to get in. The Squid Wolves to get under the basket, and that's an opening over the basket. The lead is taken, and Excalibur looks pretty strong with 4 versus 2 right now.
However, Keely, there is a ball still in mid for Excalibur. They need to get this if they want to continue to extend their lead even further. Oh no, it's their Pity Clam. Yeah, I'm sorry that they still have in the back there. I was wondering to see if anybody could go back and pick it up. Unfortunately, though, Excalibur will lose some steam here on this push, going 3 down and now wiped out from Pretty and Ink. Another quick defense from the defending team. Pretty and Ink are able to get back control mid, however, they are now down significantly.
Yeah, as you said, Excalibur get a big, good lead, but they lose so much control. Pretty and Ink is going to get a counter push. They already open the basket with a big bubbler on the level. The big bubbler is not going to work. Everybody from Excalibur locking on and destroying the whole area. No more points. Every time Pretty Ink gets under that basket, all they do is score a single super clown.
Yeah, and watch on this push, Dreamy is able to get a flank, managing to take out the ball carrier for Pretty and Ink. That is huge if Pretty and Ink are unable to recover that, and it will be unrecoverable as the triple Ink Strike will go out. Dreamy will now pop their special, managing to find one, trying to camp for another, and off of the back of that, the rest of the members of Excalibur will flood in. Cupid will manage to be able to be the one to pop the ball. Dreamy will unfortunately go down in the back there to Pretty and Ink. However, the push is still coming. Slush now has a bunch of clams to throw in. Jay quick on the trade, and now Pretty and Ink are able to rally and shut that down. But again, another great push from Excalibur to extend this lead with 1:45 left.
And as you noted, Excalibur, they're still not using their PT clamp. They still have the potential to make a big push whenever they want. They have the momentum right now. Pretty and Ink need to crank up the speed if they want to get in, and they need to turn these 7 clams into a ball if they don't want to lose it from a single fight. As I say, that Pretty and Ink going in there is going to reopen the basket. They have a lot of clams at the ready. All they need is to keep things open. The big bubbler is very far away from the basket. Here comes the strikes. They get a few more clams in. They're so close. Just one more clam. One more clam, but there's nobody left.
That was there was a staring contest between Zippy and the tent on the side of Excalibur there. Zippy was just stuck in that bubble while Azuka was just aiming down their sights, and despite all of that, they were able to still score a lot of clams, but like you mentioned, one too few. But now we're looking at 3 players down for Excalibur. This could be huge for Pretty and Ink if they're able to get another ball. This Tetris just needs one more clam and it will be popped, and there it goes. Now the clam to be followed up, and with 30 seconds left, Pretty and Ink are taking this lead late, and they are just continuing to keep up the pressure. Dreamy will manage to clean up the rest of Pretty and Ink, and so as Cupid with the ball for Excalibur's potentially final last push here, but things just changed in a matter of moments. With 15 seconds left, it is up to Excalibur's final push with 2 balls to end things.
Yep, and they are in. They don't open the basket, but they lose their player instead. This is so rough. All Pretty and Ink needs to do is get a few more splats. The basket is open. They get the lead. Just 1 second left, and all they need is one clam in. Slush is going to get splatted. Pretty and Ink gets a final push, but they need to run right now. They need to grab that PD clam and run in. They have a tactical Zippy getting in there, getting one splat. Oh.
But a quick shutdown from Excalibur to end any potential overtime hit there. What a turn of events. It was so hard to tell who would get the final and last straw there. It was looking Pretty and Ink, and then it was looking Excalibur, and then potentially Pretty and Ink with another opportunity there with that decap getting that initial pick. But the quick response for Excalibur to shut all the Pretty and Ink players down. We are going to game 4, and Excalibur just 1 game away.
Yeah. And Rocket, neither team has been able to beat the other on their counterpick. If we keep going that way, Excalibur will be your champion. Pretty and Ink cannot make a mistake anymore. I mean, all of these games have been close. Pretty and Ink have been able to bring the fight onto these clams. They lost it in the last second. That was so close, but right there, Excalibur able to just go away by a few more clams.
Yeah,
there's so much.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that on that final key push for Excalibur, Dreamy was somehow able to just sneak behind members of Pretty and Ink. I
Mm.
believe they were just able to pick up a clam and at least get the pop on it. Unfortunately, they did lose their life in that, but it just opened the doors for the rest of the Excalibur members to follow in because, like you were calling, Pat, the first ball carrier did go down, and they was looking dire, already down a ball and already down a player. However, just that sneaky play of the brush is something that Pretty and Ink needs to worry about. And on the other side, if you are Pretty and Ink, Dreamy has to be on your highest priority to shut
Oh
down
yeah.
because they have been so deadly in this tournament.
Yeah, it's been a rough one, but Pretty in Ink, we know they can get the comeback. We know how good they are, and they choose to go on zones, on Barnacle, and Dime. Very different map, also a wide map, but we are going back into zones. We'll see how Pretty Ink is able to do on there. It's going to be a close one. I mean, these two teams have shown how explosive they can be, how powerful they can be. Barnacle, it's the kind of map where you can hold control of mid for a very, very long time if you're able to shut things down. We'll see what team is able to shut the other down.
Yeah, I think the key interaction on this map in particular with how flat the area is going to be the backline between the edit for Pretty and Ink and the pencil for Excalibur, as they're just able to command so much of a presence in such a flat area and just really dictate fights based on ink control. And looking at both of these teams, they're you know what they're running. They're running the same comps, of course, because they know what works for them. I'm sure that they practice it well enough. But as we see here, Pretty and Ink will manage to actually take the first cap of the zone. However, Dreamy will take first strike. They're trading with Jay, and off of that, already off to a good start, managing to also take down the Fool on the Tenebrella, but quickly taking the zone back themselves. However, Excalibur with a quick response, and things are still contested in mid here.
Yeah, and a pretty big reminder that Cupid is playing that pencil. Cupid has the longest range in that lobby. When Cupid is looking at the zone turns blue, and Pretty in Ink needs to take cover. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Excalibur is taking that control over the zone, forcing Pretty in Ink to hide onto the side right there with the decapitator, trying to go in and missing the swipe. That's not going to work. Excalibur able to move away. Pretty in Ink still in position with that big bubble though, and able to paint the zone.
Yeah, although that decap was unable to find a pick, it at the very least was able to give so much pressure to members of Excalibur. However, that Zipcaster coming from the Tetra Duel is not quite finding as much value. However, will at least at the minimum delay Excalibur's push. And off of this push, this aforementioned push, Excalibur are now in the zone potentially. However, the lead will be flipped to the side of Pretty and Ink, and I believe this is the first time that Pretty and Ink have gotten like the first lead here.
Yeah, pretty much, but right now things are pretty even. Very nice splat by Dreamy right there. These Zipcasters are going a long way too down onto Pretty in Ink. Excalibur are holding that zone. They have no penalty left. They're gonna take the lead back.
Yeah, quick response right there, getting out of their penalty points, and Dreamy is Keely in a great spot to potentially find multiple players. Will find one, but will respawn in short amount of time. Pretty and Ink on this retake. The edit will unfortunately go down. Zippy on the decap, not finding much value, and we are 20 seconds away from Excalibur potentially taking this if no more members of Pretty and Ink can get on it, as they are falling left, right, and center. It is just left to the decap and the edit to get into this, and with 5 seconds left, this decap will take the right side of the lane. Unfortunately, will fall to Dreamy, and that will be the series right there.
Congratulations to Excalibur. They repeated what they did on the first game of this set on macro zones. Once they had the zone, once they had that control, they managed to keep the zone painted even when Pretty in Ink was pushing. Excalibur was painting the zone at the same time that they were fighting, which allowed them to win the fight with more paint onto the ground. They get the 3-1, they get the Little Squid League crown, they get banned from the tournament because they're too good for us now.
Yeah, but really well played from all of them. Congratulations, Cupid, Dreamy, Slush, and the Fool. You are victors of the Little Squid League number 43, and And since we know the results of it now, I want to say a shout out to Dreamy, my former teammate on Nebula. You have come a
Oh,
long way, and congratulations for it. I didn't want to mention it earlier because I didn't want to seem biased, but now that Excalibur
you
are
should have.
victors, big congratulations to you.
You should have mentioned it. Like, you can be pretty proud of your teammates. Brilliant Inc. came in incredibly strong. I mean, the dominance that they showed in the semifinals, that's a reminder of how good they are. That's how good Excalibur was. To beat Brilliant Inc. 3-1 is incredible. Really, really great work from both of these teams, and incredible little Squid League that we get to see, that we got to see Rocket, because now it's time for us to say goodbye, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty in Ink, I just want to mention, we're very huge underdogs throughout this entire tournament, so even making it to the grand finals was a great accomplishment nonetheless, but for sure, we definitely will have to say goodbye, but we have some housekeeping things to deal with. If you were to find me on the interwebs anywhere, I am at rocket_splat on Twitter and on Twitch, but enough about me. Where can the people at home find you, Pat?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at BadgerAutumn. It's written on your screen right now. If you remove the underscores, you can find me on Blue Sky as well. And I'd like to give a big thank you to Little Squid League for having us, and a special thank you for Jub, or Observer, who did a banger job today. Thank you so much, Jub. And
Yeah, well, with that, we will say goodbye to you and thank you for joining us during the Splatfest. And for anybody who is going to go play that Splatfest now, have some fun with that because we are nearing the end of Splatoon 3's live service, unfortunately, but we are still going pretty strong in this. So I wish you all a good Splatfest and good day, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you may be watching us.
yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.